And now they should be able to hear us. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to DACAST and blind reaction to Arknights. Possibly the last blind reaction to Arknights before I go on hiatus, after which point I may start playing the game.
Good,
We're joined.
good evening and good morning, chat and viewers and people. So I guess well, you got a vacation or something coming up, right? What was it?
School.
School stuff. Yeah, so he's gonna be kind of busy. So that means, I don't. How long is that gonna be again? I don't know if you've actually even told me that.
Oh, I'll probably be about. It's not like a full semester. It's like 2 months.
Oh, okay. So it's not too much.
You'll
A
know I'm
little while
back
with.
when you see me announcing my graduation stream.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, chat. Now you'll know when you see it. If you've been tuning in, we can have do a little trolling.
There you go.
And
But in that point, you may have begun playing, so it won't be blind anymore. So we'll see exactly where we take this format. But all good things must come to a close eventually, don't they?
well, it'll just be the start of the
Season
Arknight streams and the
2!
tier listing.
Yes, tier lists, the ultimate form of content.
Also, thank you to fellow Flavor member Kara Malone for ginning up the Arknights Foogies for me.
See, he's got a jacket, he's got a sword, he's got some silly hair. It really does he kind of fits.
All I'm missing is some lace.
Yes, and I don't know, you need like ears or something.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I can just be a lizard person, right? Then I don't need ears.
It's true. Ugh, oh man,
I will be back
I
right
have my
before the big
monster
event.
energy. Yeah, it's what do we got coming up right now? We're finishing the rice farming thing. There should be some. Well, the next big one is going to be around the end of October, so that's kind of about when those happen. So they give you a bunch of free goodies and all that. So yeah, that's to look forward to.
Nice. I apparently had too much energy and didn't fall asleep till like, I don't know, 5 or 6 this morning.
He does this often, Chet.
I don't do this often. 2 or 3, sure, that's on purpose, but then I want to go to bed. So that is why I rolled it, and I didn't edit the time on YouTube because I didn't want to make myself stay up late even more by getting out of bed, going over to my computer, and doing computer stuff.
That's truly the best way to ruin your sleep. It's turn on the
And
computer.
I still have not figured out how to like edit or create waiting rooms on the YouTube mobile apps. I don't know if it can actually be done.
So that's why things are a little later today, but that's okay. Because we're here now.
And we'll finally get around to the yellow cat ninja that we teased last time.
Like 3 weeks ago.
Something like that. We've had a few interludes in there for droids and pagan breakers.
Should get kind of monopolize an entire episode.
Not without good cause.
Of course. So yeah, check out the previous episodes, chat, if you haven't seen those. They're on the channel. You just click underneath.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's the old caveat.
Shall we begin? Oh, of course, remember, start thinking of your good fake code names. You know, you get your list, or your name up on the list if you manage to trick the streamer. So,
I gotta see
start
if I
thinking.
can keep this winning streak going.
Your winning streak of 1?
My winning streak of 1.
Hey, that's a streak. But yeah.
Could be a winning streak of 2 if I just read what was written on Blue Poison's jacket.
It could have been. You were almost there. You overthought it. To be fair, it's a very stupid code name, but, you know.
Hello, Zomfagroffel Lamal. Leet.
Elite.
My name was already, so I tried downloading Star Citizen last night because it's free to play for like
Uh-oh.
the next week. Actually, for like the next 4 days. My name was already taken, so I had to write it out in Leet speak to get it to accept it.
I've had to do that on I did that in RuneScape back in the day.
But then it turns out it's a massive game, so even though I had like 70 free gigs left, I still did not have enough room to download it, so an attempt was made,
An attempt was made.
but there's only so much I can uninstall. Well, let's see. For any new viewers, the rules here are I have to guess the character's animal type, their personality using the Wheel of Temperaments and Physiognomy to ensure scientific exactitude.
That's a big
Then
word right there, exactitude.
I will take a stab at their gameplay mechanics, the fake country they're from, and then you have a chance to stump the streamer by helping seed a pool of fake code names amongst which is hidden the real one, and I have to guess.
And if you win, you get your name on the list. And I totally won't give it away this time.
Swear, she's called Silver Spoon or something.
Cat. Her name is just Cat.
Yellow
No, it's
Cat.
not.
Ryushio Kazuhira, good morning. As well as Kent and Zatania, Yoda Yue, Kevin Seraphin, Sugar McSweets, and Daniel Montero. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
That's morning for some of us, but
let's get the second one up here, or should I go to the?
Let's just do check the first one now. We'll bring the second one up in a minute.
I'm gonna duplicate this thing now
because I think that may change your opinion slightly. I'm going to see what you can gather before that.
Alrighty. All right. Let us ons.
So you can tell we've got a cat. I mean, I think that's the easy guess.
Yeah, we have a cat ninja. Given
she
all
is a
the
ninja.
shuriken.
Also an easy guess.
Lots of lace. We have the world famous plot device. Someday I'll actually know what that means.
Possibly soon.
We have a alchemical symbol on her bag here. I believe that is a modified fire. Hang on. I haven't played Theophrostus in a while. That game had all the cool alchemical symbols. Oh no, that's the symbol. That's like a modified version of the air symbol.
I'll tell you this, that is an actual symbol, so that's not something the artist made up.
Let's see. I want to zoom in more on this in a minute. Here. All right. So we have, and she looks slightly nervous, like she's been caught when she wasn't supposed to, which is a very cat-like thing.
She's got that little bead of sweat.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a ninja. I was supposed to be stealthy. You cannot see me. Pay no attention.
Look the other way.
White and yellow uniform.
Totally stealth.
Little origami servants here. The symbol is repeated on her shoulder up here. And there's lots of cool little details on here. All right, what else we got here? We got some little buttons on her dress. I was actually zooming in to look at her cool. I don't know if that's a gauntlet or like a hidden blade or something, but
Looks a little Assassin's
It's
Creed,
got a
doesn't
little
it?
track on it. Yeah, she's got a ring there, probably a little hidden blade thing. Her sleeves are like half sleeves, and then there's a cut there. And then she's got a bunch of purple lacery here that matches like a little bit more saturated than the purple in her hair and the purple in her eyes. They're once again doing the whole capelet effect with the way the jacket is drawn.
This checks one of the core Arknights design principles: have a jacket.
Have a jacket that also looks like a capelet, as well as have an ID card and a bunch of lace and trim and a weapon that looks sort of like a giant box cutter. Got some more shurikens on that side of her hip. All right. Here's the bag. All right. So you have the symbol there, which, looking at my alchemical symbols reference guide, it looks like a modified air symbol.
You know, it's funny, that wouldn't be totally insane of a guess.
I'm trying to think where else I've seen a triangle with the extra designs in it. And it looks like she travels a lot because it looks like she has a bunch of like travel stickers or something built up on the front of her case here.
You know, I believe
That
that is
across
actually
as well.
correct. Yeah.
And then we've got some asymmetrical effect going on here where she's got like one yellow pantyhose with the plop bracelet, and then the things that I thought were spoons is just more lace. One gray sock or one gray shoe, one white shoe, and then there's your tail. So for her country, I'm guessing Japan.
You are correct. There is Airsats Japan, and that is where she's from.
The origami is a bit of a
Surprisingly, we don't
giveaway
actually have that many characters from Fantasy Japan. There's only a couple.
Now, are these just little decorative guys, or are these like little minions that can run around and do stuff for her, like in Spirited Away? Does she have little paper servants she can send off to do
They
things?
actually can move, yeah. They're like little puppet fellas.
Even though she has shuriken, I feel like she probably it probably is still abstracted under melee combat for her.
Yes.
Melee
So yeah,
combat, and then
definitely a melee tile unit.
the little origami guys run around and give debuffs.
Interesting guess.
Ooh, or little origami guys run around. They can run around to other tiles, and she can like ninja teleport to a different tile than what you deployed her on originally.
Damn, that's a good guess. He's good at this, isn't he, chat?
Did I get it?
That's pretty close. That's pretty darn close. It's not exactly it, but that's close enough.
Okay. She can they run around, and so she can hit guys that are out of her normal melee range by like quick jumping to where her origami is attacking and then teleporting back.
Pretty much. Kind of a cool mechanic.
Yeah. It's like that's what I would want a ninja to be able to do.
I'll say this, of the units that are in the 5-star category, there's like the different levels of rarity, right? 6 stars are the strongest, and then it goes 5, 4, 3, and there's 2 and 1 are kind of for special cases. I think she's actually one of the better 5-star characters in the game. But it's just all around very useful in many, many situations, kind of a staple. So.
Right. So we've hit all of this except for personality. Let us bring forth physiognomy table.
The humors!
And the temperaments. I am thinking phlegmatic.
Mm, I think you could go for a little bit of phlegmatic.
I'm mostly. She looks like she's not shy, but right here she's clearly flustered from having been discovered, or at least she was probably doing some chuny ninja thing and didn't think anyone was watching. And I was like, you saw that whole ninja thing I just did. No, you didn't. I am a ninja. You saw nothing.
Just poof, disappears. But so that would be a good point for us to take a look at her second piece of artwork.
All right. Is this the one that's gonna completely change my guesses?
Maybe.
Right. Bring forth the second slideshow. Is this in the right order? Oh yeah, okay. It is the
Yes.
same character. Very different costume.
What could be going on here?
Hang on. I need to unlock you. Unlock that. Yeah. Move you there. All right. Oh, I like the giant origami cat.
I think
Okay.
I like this one too. This is
I think
pretty good.
there's plot going on here.
So these little origami cranes flying around too.
Hmm. Did you have to read that sad book in school about the 1,000 paper cranes?
I think I managed to skip that one, but I am familiar.
I feel like the story would almost be sadder nowadays because like it would instantly go viral. You'd have a bajillion paper cranes made, and then not only would she die, she would also die knowing that her attempt at living was futile. Anyway,
Sag.
ooh,
Let's not bring down the mood too much.
that's a cool mask. All right. Okay, and the weapon. Okay. Oh, so a bunch of these shuriken are not shuriken, they're shuriken-shaped hilts on her blades. Or I guess they could still be shuriken that she can pull off and throw, but okay, so I was kind of right about it being a box cutter weapon.
I think this is supposed to be like a paper cutter of some kind.
Hmm.
It looks like it like folds. It looks like a giant switchblade kind of.
I was gonna say I figure it retracts back into the handle because it looks kind of like the way the handle's got the open spot in the middle looks a lot like a box cutter. And you even have that the patterning on the back sort of looks like a box cutter. It's not full on Attack on Titan breakable blade style box cutter sword, but the handle looks very box cuttery.
So zooming out just a little bit, we actually have two cat girls here.
And they look like they're similar style of cats. Oh
So
no,
what?
wait, hang on. All right.
Oh, I think he's figuring it out.
Yellow ribbons, yellow ribbons. That hair looks more like that. So is this is actually still the character, and this is her older sister that tragically features into her backstory.
I really like that guess, but that's get nope, nope, nope. Take a look at her tail.
Her tail is the cat
The,
tail. Hers is
the one in
like
black.
the spiky blade.
What does that look like?
Uh,
This is kind of a giveaway, but we'll see if you get it.
origami.
The tail is paper, so
Oh, wait, is she like? Have you seen Madoka Magica?
all the bits and pieces years ago.
Okay, so the one character's power, like Mommy shows up. She summons a bunch of guns and shoots things, and that's typically how she fights. Her actual power is insanely high level of control over ribbons. So all of her guns are actually just things she crafted out of ribbon that shoot highly compacted spheres of ribbon. And
Is that how that worked?
yeah, and there's a certain fight in the movie that the fight goes on a long while. It's probably one of the best it's one of the best scenes in the movie, if not the best scene in the movie. And right as you think she's lost the fight, it's revealed that her opponent has been fighting a perfect replica of her made out of ribbons the entire time, which then engulfs her and takes
Yeah.
her prisoner. So is this like a full-on origami doppelganger of herself?
She doesn't do shadow clone jutsu. She does origami no jutsu or whatever. Um, yeah, she has a paper clone, which is pretty sick.
A paper tiger, if you will.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a straight up origami body double. So it's not the little fellas, like she teleports in like a paper version of herself onto other tiles nearby, and the paper version can attack. So super cool gimmick. Very useful actually.
I see Zomfroffel Elite was also thinking of Madoka Magica.
Yeah. The neat thing is, if she gets KO'd, she swaps place with the origami clone. And if the clone survives long enough, she just comes back at full health. So
nice.
Like I really love this archetype of
this
class type.
Wait, so the paper clone doesn't work as a substitute. She basically becomes the substitute, and if she gets hit, or she swaps with the paper clone takes the hit.
Yeah, kind of like that.
That's cool.
So I always found this kind of, I don't know if you might call it magic, I guess, stuff like that to just be really neat. It's like it on paper, get it? Doesn't seem like it's. I'm sorry. On paper, it doesn't seem like it would be that strong. It's like, oh, she can control paper really well. And then it's like, oh, think about that though.
To get to its logical extreme, to include being able to swap places with any piece of paper, I guess.
Seems like it, yeah.
That could be troublesome at school. I'm just gonna teleport
she actually
into the teacher's lounge here.
Is a bit of an interesting one because not only is, it's like a ninja, right? Kind of her job is actually as an undercover intelligence operative.
Are you telling me she can swap places with the Declaration of Independence?
She could probably make Nick Cage's job much easier. I'll put it that way. Like they wouldn't have to go through that whole plot. But I think if a cat girl walked into Washington D.C., they would know about that,
Elon Musk would get a phone call.
It's like, Mr. Musk, we have her. Can she write your divorce papers? Probably. She actually is LARPing as like an office clerk. So yeah.
I like that she can do this fully detailed paper clone of herself, but then also like just this giant origami cat.
I think like many things, the giant origami cat is kind of there for effect. It's a pretty common theme in these E2 arts for there to be like giant animal in background or something like that, right? But yeah, and you see on the bottom right, there's like that little cat ninja riding the origami crane.
So then is this symbol something to do with origami then?
Which one?
The triangle that is almost but not quite an alchemical symbol.
Oh, that's actually just a gameplay thing. Funnily enough, that's the symbol like for the specialist class. Yeah,
unique to Arknights symbol. Okay,
it is. So that was just a little bit. It's funny because she's not the only one where you see that. Like Cal has the medic symbol on her shoulder. It's not super common though, but you'll see this with a couple characters. They just straight have like the class symbol So it's a little like wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of thing, you know.
Mm. Well, shall we? Shall we to the name guesses?
I suppose we shall. What have you got cooking, chat? Let's see what you guys have. And I will compile the list.
While you're doing that, from a design standpoint, the fact that he keeps her like her dress here and most of her clothing pretty like flat open spaces without a ton of detail is why he's able to festoon her with ribbons here without it becoming overly crowded.
Does it become super messy?
Because the clothing is simple and then the ribbons are all the decoration and they generally follow the same pathway as her hair as well, so they kind of serve as an extension of that and add to like the flow of the piece. The ribbons flow this way, the hair flows this way. Ribbons and the hair flow this way.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of ones here. All right. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, let me knock one or two of mine off that aren't very good. Nice. Okay. I think
names for the cat.
Yeah, I came up with some for the cat, and then one or two for the other character. We'll look at in a bit, but I just didn't think about it, and I didn't come up with very many names this time. So
Oh wait, so then
it's your job.
the things I thought were
Chat.
stickers on her bag, are those just extra pieces of paper she keeps there for
That's what I would think.
ease of access?
Yeah, that's what I would guess. I think the whole thing's full of paper, but I don't think we've ever seen the inside of it. So okay. All right. So now we've got the list. 1, 2. Nice. Okay. Let the games begin.
All right. All right, we have Kiki, Shinigami. Oh, that's a clever one. Origami, Kazemaru, Flawless Fold, Kite, Fold, Kamineko, Ufuku. All right. Fortunately, I have a Japanese dictionary on my phone here, so I can look up the meanings for the ones I'm uncertain of without spoiling anything.
That's the way to do it.
Kiki means a sharp creak or squeak. Shinigami can either mean god of death or paper of death. Origami, straightforward. Kazemaru would mean like perfect wind. Or the wholeness or roundness of wind. Flawless Fold, that sounds incredibly Arknightsy. Kite, Fold, Kamineko, be Godcat, and then Jufuku would be Jufuku means duplication, repetition, overlapping. Lots of good names
Ooh,
here.
that's a good one.
I think I have to go with Flawless Fold because it's such an Arknightsy sounding name. And
Are you just gonna final answer it immediately?
Yeah, I can't choose amongst all the Japanese, but Flawless Fold just sounds incredibly dumb in an Arknights way, so I'm guessing Flawless Fold.
Okay, well, drum roll. And that's going to be a wrong. You're overthinking it.
I'm overthinking it.
This is not, in fact, Flawless Fold. Good job, Kevin Seraphin. You get your name on the Wall of Honor.
Is her name just Origami?
No, this is Kazamari.
Kazemaru. Who does credit go to?
Kevin Seraphin.
Kevin Seraphin.
But yeah, I think chat. He's been psychologically damaged by blue poison. So
good job recognizing that and coming up with a really dumb sounding but very plausible Arknights sounding name.
So
like all these Japanese names and Flawless Fold.
Oh, you've been told that spelled Plopsis wrong. There's an I after the T.
I after the T. Tilopsis?
PTIL. Done nice on a dish dryer. Applesauce, yes. But let's see, what else is there to say about this character? I mean, she's a ninja. I think she does ninja stuff. Intelligence gathering. She quit her desk job because it was boring, which I think is a perfectly respectable reason to leave your desk job.
Well, especially if the alternate is be a ninja.
Yeah, apparently there was like a turnover, and the old feudal lord died, and the new one came in. They kind of changed the way they were doing stuff, and she got shuffled into a desk position. She was like, "This sucks. I'm gonna go be a ninja," and then she did. So that explains why she's off in the middle of England. I think is when we run into her. So yeah.
Operator Monterey Bay Aquarium. I could totally buy Monterey as an operator name.
Operator Paper Towel.
It's like up there with Stan's names.
Aurora Borealis.
Propane Nightmare. You should check the steamed hams I sent into the chat. It was a really well done edit.
I do love me some steamed hams. Time for to use Kleenex. She has a nice little extra outfit that I stuck on the file dump channel. Just a little bonus. Oh, and we got the chibis, of course. Can't forget about those.
Oh, the file dump is loading very slowly. Let's pull up the chibis. Like there are several.
I think Zomph brings up a very good point. You know how when the Taliban took over Afghanistan and they all had to get desk jobs?
And they were like, this is so...
They just want a jihad. They don't want to work in an office.
The one where he's like, now I just lie awake at night wondering if the phone's going to ring and I'm going to have to go break up a domestic dispute or something. Like, yeah, you bought it. You got to run it now.
I'm sorry, this is the problem with winning sometimes, is you get what you want.
Congratulations, you're in charge again, with everything that entails.
But somebody's got to run the post office.
And all the people that have been supporting them for years are now basically being like, we supported you, now what are you going to do for us, huh?
They're like, is the mail on time? Yeah, fun fact. Excuse me. When she's got the mask on, that's the clone.
Aha.
So I feel like they missed a detail. The tail doesn't change. But yeah.
Well, if they're trying to release content at high speed, then the mask
sometimes
is just
things
like
get looked over, yeah.
one extra toggle you can add.
That's pretty much what it is. It's just layered right on top, right? Although she's got a different expression, right?
Mm. Yeah, the
It's funny too
paper.
because like all of her voice lines and stuff outside of battle is like, "Oh, I'm super ditzy and I'm an airhead and not serious at all."
Mm.
And all the in battle voice lines are like super giga serious. Like it's kind of funny. Like it's
So
intentional. It works.
even her personality has got. She has her camouflage up.
Yep. So she's actually like Agent 47, the cat girl. Well, kind of. There's actually a different one that fits that description a little bit better, but
Perfectly balanced.
yes.
Oh, and the asymmetrical legs are in the chibi as well.
We have
Oh, you know
the
something
plot bracelets.
I've just realized about the this capelet stuff that they keep doing is that when you chibify the character, like it lets you add a little bit extra of it translates nicely into a little extra shape and color up there on the torso.
Yeah, it does break it
Nice
up a bit, doesn't it?
ornamentation near all over the shoulders.
I just realized this is totally unintentional. My most recent AC actually has the same color scheme.
That was intentional? Or you're
No,
just
that wasn't intentional. I just noticed that. I'm like, huh, that's
yellow and
weird.
white?
And it's just a coincidence. It's white and gold with like black trim. Oh, we'll save that one for the mech stream though. Whenever that happens.
That one will probably end of August at this point,
Okay.
I would guess. I'm so close to getting the Kickstarter up and running.
Starlight from the Boys. I don't know anything about the Boys, so I can't comment on that.
Hmm. I'm in a similar boat, and I intend to keep it that way. What little I know is too much.
I think some people want to. Some people they want to see the Maid costume. So
Why didn't you lead with that?
I didn't. I forgot. I forgot. I know. Sue me. Stab me through the heart.
Why
I
didn't you
deserve it.
tell me we had a wheelbarrow? Aww. Or is it because you knew and you didn't want to derail this thing like we did
I
with
didn't
Big and
want to
Director?
derail it. Well, but it was a little bit of both. I don't. I never understood why maid costumes were so popular in anime adjacent things. Like I just don't understand it, but that's fine.
Right, like
I don't have to.
you're looking at this art and you still don't get it
I mean, I do, but I'm just like, why maids of all things?
because it's really cute.
So I believe this is Halloween themed.
Hence the mysterious red gem in her hand.
Well, and the origami bats.
Mm. Oh,
Even the
I
pictures in the
like all the
back are
little
kind of
cats. All these sinister looking cat ghosts all around here and here.
like all the pictures have cats in them. Yeah.
I like this one. They look like the little Totoros. And she's got a little flashlight, I think. Little flashlight right there for walking around the haunted house. We got an hourglass, a cross,
There's like
even
a
a memento mori symbolism
so
going on
there's a
here. Cross
king playing
earrings.
card down there in the bush.
Oh, and she's got little batwing uh ruffles on her
Earrings.
shoulders too.
Oh, the shoulder. Yeah.
Oh, a little origami
Is the
cat
flashlight the
there.
sword? I can believe it.
And every flashlight's a lightsaber when you're a kid.
True. But yeah, we also got one little extra chibi as a bonus.
Let's see. Oh, it wants to save it. Let's see. Chibi folder, chibi folder.
Yeah, I don't know what the card's supposed to symbolize, but
This thing go? No, not thumbnails. There we go. Chibis. Call this one Chibi 3A.
playing casino. Was this the one that was like heist themed, or was that a different one? I'm trying to remember. The skins, like the outfits, come in like sets, you know. So a couple characters are going at the time that are
got like her
themed around something.
shadow self.
Yep. And I think that we could probably infer the other two maids in the background are probably shadow clones or paper clones.
I guess it makes cleaning up real easy.
Brings all new meaning to the word cleaner, right?
I thought you were bringing a whole team. It's just you and a stack of paper.
Don't ever try to fight her inside of a library.
Oh,
it's
what
like
could
fighting
be
Gara
inside
on the
this
beach.
book?
It's a cat girl. Whoa.
Whoa, these pop-up books are getting real fancy. I've been stabbed. Farewell.
It's all digital, yeah. Nothing beats the smell of opening an old book and just sort of skimming through the pages, right?
Especially if it's already got like the yellow page edges, you know it's gonna smell good.
Oh yeah. We have a 1962 edition of Lord of the Rings. It's paper. Sorry, it's leather bound. It's all like embroidered and stuff. My grandmother got that from somebody back then, and I think my mom was like 2 years old or 1 year old at that point. But we still have it, and it just smells wonderful. It's just like, priceless.
You get the old paper and the old leather smell in there.
It's actually about 80 years old. Well, no, hang on, 60. About 60 years old, excuse me. My mom is not 80. I should know that.
My oldest copy that I have is, I think, from 1955. It's the first authorized edition that Ballantine did in the U.S.
Oh.
I inherited that one from my got that one from my aunt and uncle.
Fancy.
It's not leather bound, so unfortunately the covers I've had to like tape back on because like all the covers have fallen off because they were just paperbacks. But it still has the slip case that was like gold leaf with Tolkien's illustrations of like various like Eldar and Númenórean symbols, like coats of arms and stuff decorating it.
It's a level of effort you don't often see with books these days. But yeah, that's Kazimar the Cat Girl Ninja paper thing.
Is there a whole series of skins where everybody is maids?
How many maids do we have at this point, Chet? I'm trying to think. Is it 2? I think it can't be more than 2, can it? Kazumaru's got one. I don't remember. No, actually, I remember who the second one is. There's 2, I think. Is it 3? Okay. Well, I can only think of 2 off the top of my head. So, point being, not a lot. Is Irene's actually? I guess Irene is all. Yeah, Irene has a sort of maid-like outfit. True.
Man, the little bat wings are really cool touch here. Especially because otherwise the profile would be like all like downward, like the hair flows down, the poofy sleeves go down, the skirt like flares out as it goes down. So there's also break up the overall shape quite nicely.
Okay, actually, we probably have more like 5 mates. We're figuring it out.
Oh, and I like I like how instead of repeating the staircase rail on the other side here, the artist uses like it's still the same shape where the staircase railing would be, but he uses like the plant life instead.
There's something to be said for these outfits where there's a lot of effort put into the backgrounds of some of these.
Hmm.
So it's not just like the character themselves, but it's like the whole piece. What's
The
the
way
fancy word for
that
that composition?
yeah, and the way he does the lighting on the origami bats here too, I really like.
You can tell that there's like a light shining down on her from the
Yeah, it's
side.
got a very um
There's like the arm shadow.
yeah, but specifically it's got like a very sort of painterly like almost like children's book illustration feel to the bats specifically. Well, I guess the bats and the cats in the background here. Like something about the like soft lighting that
I could see her being in that Halloween I Spy book, from like a billion years ago.
hmm, something about the soft lighting here and the way that like the color goes almost all the way to white, even though it's like pink paper. It's like wait, am I just thinking of Stella Luna? Is Stella Luna illustrated like this? Is this just an elaborate pun by the artist?
I don't know. I'm not well educated enough.
Where's a
All
picture
right.
that's not just the cover?
Okay, we're up to
Oh
like
well.
6 maids at this point. Okay.
Are any of them named Rita?
No, Rita does not have a maid outfit. She'd probably kill you for trying to put her in one. Um,
Farewell, chibis.
okay. So
Useless deer caster. Kudos to a
that's
stranger's
mean,
pleasure
but it's
not
not
falling into
wrong.
cliche.
There's one character that's honestly pretty freaking useless. Um, a pheasant.
All right. Well,
It's a pheasant. Now you got me thinking. Oh yeah, let's see. Behind door number 2, I guess we have our second thumbnail character. Another highly requested one. Let's
all
just see the
right.
first art piece again.
It looks like
Oh, she's tall.
all right. So same race as Exusia
Yep, another angle.
from the Papal States.
Yep.
All right. Let us. Yeah, she is tall. Let us zoom in here. I love how much of the line work you can see in the hair. Like I like how much of like the initial like dark sketch lines the artist left in there.
And jacket. Like I wasn't kidding. Everybody has jackets.
Mm. Well, and I love the way the artist lit the jacket as well. Like this is really cool when you like know how the material folds, so you can like how the light's gonna bounce off of the material. It's really satisfying when it's well done with something like a jacket that has like a really interesting texture. I see there's some kind of symbol. Looks like an owl, maybe, on the shoulder.
Hmm. I don't know if that's significant or not. Let me check.
This is a woman, right?
Yes.
Okay. They're not.
It would be more
This
obvious
isn't.
with a different pose.
This isn't fate. They're not trying to
No, they're not trying to
get
trick you.
you. Oh, this glove looks really well done too. The artist is not afraid of hands. Glove, the cool little cuff
So
on the
you've
sleeve with the
seen this
button.
artist before.
Oh, is this Fiametta's artist?
Um, I think yes. Let me make sure before I tell you yes or no. Yes, shares an artist with Fia, shares an artist with Lappy, shares an artist with Texas,
Hmm.
shares an artist with Exu. So this is I believe Ryuzaki Haitu. This is Haitu is the artist name. One of the founders of the game.
I really like the sleeve here. Comes down, flares out, and then you have like the smaller sleeve, but it's still like a small baggy sleeve inside that has this really cool like I love the way that cuff folds back and buttons there.
Double sleeves. Nice.
Oh, and you got
Oh, there's even a
black
zipper,
glove and a white glove.
right?
Yeah, and there's a zipper on the sleeve there that's I mean essentially purely decorative, but it looks very cool. Same with like the little blue tag right there. And then like the multiple like the layering of the jacket here. Or in the giant cargo pocket. Very nice.
Perfect for cup noodles.
Mm. And then the cool buckle right there. Oh, I like that touch of like the little metal
Grab
decorative
it.
slash armor piece on the shoulder there. Your short shorts and some cool boots that also have a cool armored ring around the top of the shank there,
Very practical.
along with some little loopies on the sides.
This falls into the cool streetwear category of outfits.
Mm. And then the weapon. Oh, and she's got like a little pointy tail. And then her weapon appears to be, it looks like one is sort of a sword, and then one looks like some kind of magical staff. They might both just be staves.
They are both staffs. Staves.
Like that,
Yeah.
that could either be a hand guard or just staff head. Oh, and the purple's reused here for the shadows on the inside of the jacket, like here and here and here, here and here. Like the dark purple is used for the shadows on the jacket, which ties in with the dark purple used like in a very few parts of the hair. Oh, that looks so good.
Kind of neat touch in it.
Yeah.
The I find with a lot of stuff that Haitu draws, there's a lot of subtle details. Um, Now that being said, the guy does have a case of same face. So if you were to slap this character next to like Lappy or something, you'd be like, wait a second, that's the same face.
Hmm. Yeah, so someone was saying, wait, hang on. Cool. That's been going wild. Where did I see this? Woman. I was saying something about the eyeshadow. Here we go. Bushido Kazuhira, also like the kind of redditing eyeshadow. Yeah, that helps make the blue of the eyes and the blue of the hair pop too, but it's super subtle. And then the wings are just like she's got wings. She's an angel person from the
They look
Halo.
a little messed up, don't they?
Yeah. She also has horns and like a devil tail, so what could that
Hmm.
mean? But she still has a halo.
Could this be plot significant? Hmm.
Could this be dichotomy?
Inherent within the meta narrative.
Just so
Have you heard the tragedy of Doth? I won't start that right now.
let's take in the whole composition of the piece as well. This is another composition where you've got a very vertical character, which emphasizes like her height and slenderness. And then the weapons stop her from just looking like a big old isosceles triangle between the weapons and then
So,
just these little vestigial wings here.
for the record, she is 5'7". So,
Taller.
compared to most of the
Yep.
other women in this game, she's quite tall. Like, almost the same height as Dorothy.
Mm. Wait, Dorothy's that tall?
Yeah, Dorothy's pretty tall. Have you ever seen a Jerboa? Have you seen their freaky legs?
No, I haven't actually looked at a Gerbo. I just. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why Dorothy's tall. That's my
Oh wait, I
theory.
almost
That's why I'm sticking with
forgot.
it.
She's got something in her hands here,
It's like a little wand or something, right?
like either a wand or one of those long-stemmed cigarette holders that would probably have Pocky in it or something.
Well, I'll save you the guessing. It's a wand.
It is a wand. Okay, so she's got her sidearm drawn. She's got the big gun strapped to her back. All right, shall we? Oh wait. Okay, so let's see. Gameplay. I'm gonna go with her primary purpose is to apply buffs and debuffs.
Hmm. So you think she's a buffer, debuffer, supporter type?
Yes, based off of the dichotomy here, the black glove, the white glove, the halo, the horns. I feel like she's got a black wand and a white wand. So I feel like she must do buffs and debuffs or like DPS and healing. Like there's got to be some dichotomous elements in the gameplay.
I think I like the guess. I really do. Not quite in the right direction.
Hmm.
She does apply some debuffs, but and no, it's not the debuff of death. I know. Uh, AOE caster.
Hmm. She just dual wield the magic wands.
For big booms, yes.
All right, can I pull out the chibi yet?
You can pull out the first chibi. Let's see, number 4 and 5.
Go. As always, if it fits, sits. 4 and 5. Okay, so she normally just keeps those slung and has her wand out. Personality-wise, she looks.
What do you think? A phlegmatic, sanguine.
Hmm. She looks sweet, but like very poised.
What do you mean poised?
Poised, like her jimmies are not easily rustled.
That would be true.
She is unrustled,
Is a very
very
calm,
calm.
chill, in control kind of vibe.
So I believe that would be sanguine.
I'll tell you this, very much not in the same way as like Rita.
Hmm.
So not like a Battlefield later type of character.
No, just like she is, yeah, hard to ruffle. Very calm demeanor, but not calm and unrustled in the I'm very serious and nothing
Not overly
nothing
serious,
can
no.
nothing will move my stoic heart. She's like the like if you put her in a cute girls doing cute things anime, like she would be like the serious like rich girl of the group that's still really nice to everybody.
Mm, that wouldn't be totally off. I wouldn't put her exactly in that category, but maybe adjacent to it.
Like yeah, she's not really that archetype, but she's like
As far as I know, she's
she could
not
pull it
rich.
off.
But yeah. So let's see. You've got the country down. You've got angle. All right. Yeah. I think your personality guesses are definitely in the ballpark.
Shall we pull up the E2 skin?
Let's bring up the E2. Yeah. I think it's time. Chat. It's time.
Ooh,
This one's pretty badass.
I should say so. Nice. Oh, wait then, so is she part angle, part whatchamacallit that Mudrock is?
Oh, the sarcasm. It's complicated,
It's got a
but
little Blackrock shooter action going on with her
it's
eyeball right
complicated.
there. Her halo is taken on a spiky destroyer mode.
This is like, ugh, this is like Super Saiyan. That's gone beyond Super Saiyan. Also known as a Super Saiyan 2.
Ooh, we got this clock motif running around here.
That might be giving you a hint to some gameplay stuff and some lore stuff. I'll just tell you that.
Is her DPS AoE from like rapidly aging people?
She slows everything on the field.
Hmm.
She's got Sand's Eye. You know the
Stole it from
Undertale, right?
Miku. I was gonna say it's the Blackrock shooter did it first.
Oh, did it? Okay. I don't know about that one,
Long
but
before anyone's tails were under anywhere, there was Blackrock shooter. Then Goblin Slayer did it too, but his was red.
I can't remember if I told you earlier, but Rita does the exact same thing.
Nice.
Also has Sand's Eye. This is an Ascendant Operator, also known as an E2.
I did not see the fire from the first art, so that's a neat touch. Like
So
fire and
she's put the wand away and brought out the big guns.
no, I guess they both do fire. One's just like a more purplish fire. Ooh, and there's some chains running around this giant monster's neck here.
It's like chained to the clock.
Oh, wait, okay. So was she originally an angel and she's like basically acting like a living prison to like trap some demon creature inside of?
Not an insane guess, but no, not exactly.
Okay.
So it's not like a nine-tailed fox situation, but not totally unlike that either. It's complicated.
I do look forward to finally getting all the actual lore.
Sort of, but no, but yes. It's interesting as to why she looks like this. There is a plot reason. Angles do not normally have horns.
And angles have the like the super empathy, right?
Yeah, they do.
Is her appearance related to some super empathic event?
It's actually, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this much, since you're kind of in the.
I'm figuring
It's
out
more
how this
related.
setting
It's
works.
related to her lack thereof. Actually, an event happens, and she no longer has super angle empathy, so she's been cut off in a sense.
I just love how this artist is putting like the purple and the blue, like his use of colors here
Pick a
makes me
color palette and
happy.
stick with it. Yeah.
Like he didn't have to go this hard. Like he could have just like shaded the jacket with like, a normal inside of a jacket color. He's like, no man, we're doing purples and blues and I'm gonna work it into the hair and like you can tell he likes drawing like hair and like flowing organic matter. He's just putting all these individual strands and details in there.
Don't worry, Chad. I'll mention that in a minute.
Cold colors right, or wait, cold colors left, warm colors right. Warm. Well, oh, okay, yeah. R right, yeah. Warm colors over here, cold colors over here.
I wonder if I
Which
need
is
to
why
add
he
that
has
to
her
the
hair
design
flowing that
principles.
way. Warm and cold colors or splitting up warm and cold colors?
Yeah, something kind of like that. And that's a pretty
Hmm.
basic one, but yeah, it looks like those staffs have some serious firepower.
Aha.
But
Ha ha ha.
see, I'm
I
catching
love
on,
how the fire here still looks like a blade.
and it kind of turns purpley.
Mm-hmm. And then over here, in contrast, it's all just like bursting out of the staff in a more like flowy, cloudy looking form.
So, kind of like with Kazamaru, there is a theme of dichotomy inherent within the subtextual narrative. One might say.
Even within the title of the game itself, Arknights. For arcs did not contain knights, they contained animals.
Hey,
Wait, did I
and
already
it's a
did I go on my ramble on stream about why I thought it was called Arknights and like my guess at the overall plot?
I don't remember. Do you
About
have like
whether
Cliff Notes version?
yeah, is this whole thing basically like a giant retelling of Noah's Ark, which is why everyone's an animal person?
I
And the goal of Rhodes Island is to like collect enough of each of the animal people to ensure the continuation of the species and then launch everyone into space or something.
we're still not sure about the space launch, but no, not exactly, but sort of. It's the localized name. It's I think that it is maybe some kind of intentional reference to arc animals. Yeah, right.
Hmm.
I don't feel like it's the entire thing's supposed to be that, but you know how they are with their literary references.
Hmm.
Um, the other thing is that also there's the shadowy force known as Rhodes Island, and what do we know about that place in real life? No, not the U.S. state.
Um, Knights of Malta, right?
Knights Hospitaller. Yes.
Or yeah, I guess Knights of Malta would be from Malta.
Well, the Knights that it's Knights of St. John. They were on Rhodes, and then they went to Malta later. So they renamed themselves later on. But that's the same order. And they run a hospital. That was their original purpose.
Rhodes Island.
And yeah,
Oh, so is there an event that's like the equivalent for like the fall of the Kingdom of Jerusalem? leading to the formation of Rhodes Island?
Not Jerusalem per se, although there is actually a biblical reference in there. Hey, so you're not totally off. But yes, Rhodes Island is a pharmaceutical company. We'll get that later, but I think it fits. I feel like there was some intentionality with that name. I know we're getting a little sidetracked here, but that's just a guess. I don't know if there's ever been any official this or that about that,
There's an Inn of Province on Rhodes Island, or on Rhodes.
There's a what?
There's an Inn of Province on Rhodes.
Huh. Interesting.
All right. Well, shall we with the name guessing?
Let's jump to the name guessing. Chat, if you would. I hope you've been cooking. I know some of you were, so give us your best guesses. Let's trick the streamer. Oh gosh, there's a bunch of them here. Alrighty. It's going too fast. Ah! Okay, we're getting a ton here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Let's see. Let's get a couple more.
I'll take my time this time instead of fighting off on the weirdest sounding one.
Yeah, not this time. Let me put this way. It's not spikes or anything stupid like that. It's not clock. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're gonna have a lot to choose from this time. So yeah.
Right.
Me trying to keep up with chat. It's like, all right, here is the list. Oh, hang on, that's not the list. That should be it. You're gonna have like 12. I hope you're happy.
Oh boy, I'm not happy.
You might have to shrink the text a little bit. Just to fit it all on screen.
Yeah. Let's see here. I might just have to start deleting some. It's time. We'll just start a new one after this.
Scoreboard.
All right, we have Asiel, Dreamcatcher, Nephilim, Kyrie, Desolate Time, Tamiel, Ball, Azazel, Ursula, Suffering, Ostima, Chronos, and Timekeeper. All right. Well, let's see. We know for angles they've used Exousia, which is an actual name for a choir of angels, and then they've also used Executor, which is just like what they do.
So this, if you're looking for your place for biblical references, you will often see them in Angle Land.
Catcher, cat. Ooh. Oh yeah, that weapon does look kind of like a dream catcher. Ooh, this is tough.
Chat did a good job this time. Good job, Chat.
Don't think it's.
I don't mean to imply that you guys don't usually do a good job, but this one's super good.
I don't think it's Chronos, because I think if it were Chronos, the giant monster creature would look different, or there'd be some scythe theme thrown in there. Ostima. I might need to ask you for some definitions here so I don't spoil anything.
I think many of these guesses are either angels from biblical texts or types of angels. I'm recognizing a couple of them.
gonna say, can I get a definition for Ursula?
That one I don't know.
Ooh, all right. Let's see. I don't think they would straight up name her after. It's tough. There's a lot of these here.
Well, when in doubt, you just got to start knocking them out.
Let's see here. Street catcher.
But there's an operator named Ad Blocker. That would be pretty sick. Ad Blocker.
I feel like
You mean that you're watching YouTube without an ad blocker? Come on, man. You know what year it is?
I feel like they're probably using an angel name. My gut's leaning towards Cassiel because that's easy to come up with nicknames off of. Hard how else to pick, so I'm just going to go off the nickname ability here. I think this is Cassiel.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
Huh. Good guess, but sorry, not quite. I know you could make that be like Cassie, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but no. This is actually, first of all, I earn another point. As much as we hate to see it. But this is a Mostema.
Mostema.
Which is, I believe, supposed to be, maybe it's just like an English of Mastema, which is a demon from the Book of Jubilees.
Oh. Cool. Create the new name yes template here. Wait, hang on. There's an easier way to do that.
So my methodology, I'll let you in a little secret. I was sitting there coming with some of these fake names, and I'm like, can I make a nickname off of this? That was actually one of my considerations. So it looks like it worked.
He's thinking how I'm thinking, chat.
I'm learning.
He's learning how to fool me. Because I'm learning how to not be fooled by him.
I know, right? So, yeah, this is Mostema. She's an interesting one, right? There's a lot going on here. Her whole gimmick is these two things she's holding. They're actually sort of a magic super weapon. There's some rather powerful artifacts called the Lock and Key. I'll just tell you that. I don't remember which one is which, but one of them is the lock, one of them is the key, and it sort of has to do with time.
I would say the lock is probably the round one, and the key is probably the one
I can see that, yeah.
Would fit into the lock.
So, what she does in gameplay is applies slow effects, which is kind of cool because it means the enemy walks really, really, really slow. And skill 3 actually just straight up pretty much stops anything from moving that's within her range. They're not stunned, they just can't move. Block of Shattered Time and Key of Chronology. Oh, that's it. But, yeah, they're they're heavyweight artifacts. So, she's not just walking around with those just for fun, because she just, like, has them and stuff. It's sort of a convenient way to get them out of the picture without them being out of the picture. If you know what I mean?
They're like, this way you can explain why don't we just go retrieve these artifacts and use them to solve all our problems.
They're like, here, you hold on to them, and we're watching you, by the way. There's
the ring bearer.
It's a little bit like that. I mean, the way she got her hands on those has a lot to do with the reason she's got weird devil horns. But that's a story for another time. she was squatted up with Exu's older sister, and then things happened.
Hmm.
She's not exactly friends. Well, I'll put it this way. You remember how I mentioned something about Fiametta's job?
Yeah.
She's a papally appointed Tard Wrangler.
Hmm.
This is her Tard.
Ah.
So her job is to follow Mosima around and make sure she doesn't break anything, basically.
Just babysit the person that we gave the time control devices to.
Yeah, you can tell why she's so stressed. And of course, Mosima here is like just constantly gives her shit. Doesn't take anything seriously, so it's they're a funny pair.
And drawn by the same artist too.
Yep.
I just noticed she even has like a double halo here because her halo casts a shadow halo.
Dichotomy. Yeah, Fia was part of that whole affair. Like, watching over a monkey with a Glock, the safety is on, but yeah.
Wait, hang on.
She still gets jobs from the Pope too to do stuff, so there's stuff happening. I'll put it that way.
Hang on a minute. The Glock doesn't have an external safety.
Oh, that's the joke. These don't either.
They're drop safe.
They're only drop safe. Yes.
Who gave
But
that
you could
monkey
probably
a Glock?
you could probably nuke a small city with these things. Serious heavyweight magical artifacts.
In the hands of our smartest angle. Why didn't they just give them to Fiametta?
Because Fia's not an angle.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what I think. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I'll leave you to discover that on your own. But I think the nonsense involving the Papal States and Fia being angry constantly is some of the most entertaining stories I think this game has had. So,
the staff
yes.
has to be willing to be carried by the bearer.
Yeah, we got a bit of a Harry Potter thing going here. They may be maybe sentient. It's hard to say. But there's something in there. But yeah, we have actually also a little extra bonus outfit for her if you scroll over.
Ooh.
So more purple. You thought you liked purple before? Well, here's some more.
That is quite a bit of purple and quite a lot of spirit children crawling out of the floor. Ooh, I like how the key is like a full-on like executioner's blade on the end of a staff here.
It got bigger.
She gets a prismatic halo. That's neat. Ooh, I love these papal ring wraiths here.
I don't know who these guys are actually. Are they executors? Are they just legates? I don't know, but they look pretty cool.
I've also got the prismatic halo, which contrasts really nicely with their just like black and gold and red look.
They look something from Bloodborne. A little bit of Bloodborne, I can see that. Yeah, Masters of Ceremony.
Then you've got, oh man, so you've got the cross in the background, and they're being very careful to skirt the Chinese laws by not actually depicting like a corpse on it, but you can tell it's supposed to be crucifix.
Yeah, not exactly subtle, but you have to squint your eyes. Maybe if you're looking at this on a phone screen, you might not see it.
Yeah, it's subtle enough. You can't point to anything there and be like, nope, you drew a corpse. That's illegal.
Bit of Legata. I think maybe it says so on the skin description. I don't know. We did know she stole the clothes,
I really like
though.
this. Executioner blades are a very cool look. Just to square off the tip there. You got this cool gold decoration wrapping around it. Right.
And of course, we have some bonus 2 chibis as well.
Jeez.
Yeah, chibis.
Ah, cheers.
Yes.
Right. Oh wow. Okay, so the little shadow people are important enough they make it into the chibi. He's like, go away.
I actually don't know what the souls of the damn thing is. That's a good point. Maybe chat knows.
They must have some significance because they're in both of our chibis for this skin.
The effects, like in game, are very, very colorful with the skin equipped. So some of the outfits actually change the like effects of what attacks look like and stuff. So this one's very sparkly. I don't need the souls of the damn coming out of my head, thank you.
Oh, wait. If we hold her right there, then she should pet your head. Pet the squirrel.
Nice. Just hopefully she's not allergic.
Who's ever been allergic to squirrels?
You'd be surprised. Now, one of these little furry bastards, the other day, he ate all the corn, and he hoarded it, and the other squirrels didn't get any. And then he just dumped it all over my deck. So I know which one he is, it's the fat one. And he's gonna get it. Sorry, chat, I have a war with the other neighborhood squirrels. They don't know how to share. I'm trying to be charitable towards my fellow squirrel, but they make this very difficult.
I think you find a 22 air rifle, solve your fat squirrel problem, and you'll get some great burgoo out of it too.
I don't want to hurt them. But still.
All right, put when that one shows up, you get a little like squirrel treadmill that he has to run up to try and get to the corn.
Did you ever see the Squirrel Olympics?
I have not.
On YouTube, some dude makes like this obstacle course. Somebody gets the nut.
Oh, we had some little baby squirrels we were raising once briefly after we cut down the tree their nest was in without realizing their nest was in there. Kind of fun having a little squirrel that would crawl around your jacket and sit on your shoulder.
But I've basically got Planet Sylvestris HQ on the tree behind my deck. I know they're all living up there. I can see them. I can hear them. They're like this
little squirrel house.
Yeah. Oh, the bird feeder. I like the way you think.
Bat house over here, squirrel house over here, beehives over here.
I know the squad. I know they're plotting against me. They want my corn. They're like, brother, may I have some oats?
Oh, brother, the squirrel man gave all the corn to me.
No, brother. That was a good one.
Are they plotting to get into your attic?
I'm plotting. Actually, I don't have a plot yet. I'm just more annoyed. Yes.
What if you put syrup on the corn when the fat squirrel arrives?
Corn god. Nuts for that lord. Yeah, I should just put super glue on it, and then like the corn's just glued to their little squirrel paws.
I guess that would just encourage him to eat the corn, though, because
they would eat it and then they would die. I know.
All right, we're not trying to kill the fat squirrel then. You just gotta put. Hang on, wait, what's that?
So I've nicknamed the fat one Barnabas.
All this talk of squirrels, I thought I saw one outside my window. It was just a differently colored
leaf. Yes, I will portray them as the soy jack and me as the Chad. This will make them die of cringe, and they're gonna go post on Reddit or something. Truly.
Uh, it's a shame that Magic's in the state it is nowadays because they've made Squirrel travel very viable now, from what I understand.
I know Swarm of Squirrels was like a spell or something like that, right?
Squirrel Nest. I think
Like
there's
makes a
some.
squirrel token every turn.
I think there's some legendary squirrels now.
I would have a Ratatos or Ratatosker,
Mm.
the super squirrel. Summons
He
more
got a,
squirrels.
he got a card.
He would totally screw with your library.
What does he do? They did
I
print
don't think.
something like that.
I don't think he's. Is he a magic card?
Yeah, they did a Viking themed set, so I know they made a Ratatosker XP. What did they actually call him though? Hosky, Bearer of Secrets. 3 and a green, legendary creature squirrel, 1/1. Can't be countered, indestructible, attacks each combat if able. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Husky. He's an odd one.
Hmm.
Looks like a fish. Yeah, sorry, chat. We did derail. Sorry, angles. What were we talking about?
Back on track. Next character.
Next character.
Just because unfortunately I do still have to stick with the timeline I planned out when I thought we were starting the stream at 7 because I have a lot I have to get done today.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get through at least more than the thumbnail characters for everybody. So yeah, if we only have time for one more, we'll see we'll see if we can do some lightning rounds here.
Mm.
All right, this is interesting. All right, we got another dude. He's a cat.
Who is this mysterious figure?
If he's a cat, then he is from Hong Kong.
Specifically, they're usually English, but not exclusively.
Hmm. Dude, this guy's cloak is awesome. A mirror, and that's either 666 or 999. Lot 666. He's got some stabbing weapons. Got some blades on his left hip.
Got an ID card.
Membership card. The thing. Oh, he's got that thing that isn't that the same thing like Primonix and her family has?
What do you mean?
The diamond there. Or am I thinking of something else? Ooh, he's
I
a
think you're thinking of something
twin-tailed
else.
cat. I feel like I've seen this symbol before. All right, we got a twin-tailed cat. His mask's got one cat ear and one like woodland branchy ear. Twin-tailed cat with spikes. Kitty cat
Start
hood.
thinking of names, cat. I mean, chat.
Some streetwear formal attire here. Man, I love all the different layers that this shirt takes. It's also kind of a bummer that like finding actual like streetwear clothes online is difficult because there's like it's either like really expensive stuff or it's just like cheap, super cheap, like not going to last stuff, and there's like no in between. I love all of the
These
layers
clothes look
they've got
expensive.
going on here. You've got this part here that's like cut like a suit, and then this part that's just like cloak drapery of awesomeness. And
He
then his
buys his
cool
knives from
sleeves
Australia.
here. Then you've got like the split sleeve there, and those ones are buttoned.
Be coming out of the room covered in your blankie on a cold morning. Yeah.
I didn't.
This is how I walk around the house, chat. Little do you know.
The world's most formal pajamas and loungewear. And this is a good example of how to make an almost monochromatic design work. Like he's basically wearing all black, so the only way the artist sneaks some color in is like the plot or bracelet and the cat eyes.
was like the
face in
shading
his
is a little bit
hair,
blue, you know?
and then yeah, some blue on the shading. Just because if that were like solid black shading, then he would just be like a black hole. And this really dramatic like flaring out and then turning into the cape makes it, well, it's a cape, but then it still sort of resembles the way that like a greatcoat can flare out and come back in. And then he's got like all these loose belts and stuff that almost look like tentacles or weapons or stuff coming off, or tails.
So,
I would dress
what do you think
like
this guy does?
He looks like some kind of enforcer or hitman type.
It's sort of, he's in the Hitman
Perhaps
ballpark. That's probably not a bad
he
guess,
looks
yeah.
sort of like a some kind of rogue.
Very roguish. So yeah, you're kind of on the right vibe there.
Hang on, I keep zooming in to look at details, forgetting what I was looking for, and then zooming out. And his face looks serious in this artwork, but I wouldn't be surprised if his personality looks a little different in the other artwork.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I don't know, he's a cat, so I refuse to believe that he is entirely serious.
Have we had any serious cats, Chet? I think, well, there's Calcit, but other than her.
I mean, this is a twin-tailed cat. Like, there's something afoot here.
A paw, as it were.
Jessica,
technically,
if you will.
Jessica's. It's more just because she cries all the time, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, there's a good animal story, Varjak Paw and the Outlaw Varjak Paw.
I'm unfamiliar.
It's a like young adult kids book. Varjak Paw lives with his family in this old mansion where they were all raised, so he's never seen the outside world, and they're all purebred Mesopotamian blue cats. And the rest of the family is basically like content to like live inside the house, even though the master has vanished and may or may not be dead. And there's like weird strangers coming into the house now, but the rest of the family is basically like, we're not leaving this mansion. We're not going outside. Do you know how crazy that would be?
This sounds vaguely familiar.
Barjack Paul's like, well, I'm gonna go figure out what's up and go explore the outside world. And then in between the like present day plot chapters are dream sequences where he's basically visited by like his elder Mesopotamian blue who teaches him the secret cat martial art.
Huh.
Which he then uses to great effect later. Roots some other cats and a giant dog. Comes back.
We call this the drunken paw.
It's like, oh, do I have that one with me? It's like, can't remember if there's a real martial art that it's drawing from philosophically, but it's stuff like moving circles, shadow walking, and he's basically teaching him how to chain his techniques into each other. So he's like, first you enter moving circles, so that you can then shadow walk from place to place and conserve your energy for a critical strike.
Interesting.
It's really cool, and the illustrations are super cool. But that is what this guy reminds me of. This is like Barjack Paul at the end of both the books, where he's like super awesome cat martial artist.
So you're thinking like trained John Wick kind of guy?
Yes, basically cat John Wick.
That's not far off. That's a pretty good guess.
Gameplay wise, thinking just massive damage to one or two enemies in particular.
Yeah,
some kind
it's
of
very much a focus damage.
Some kind of evasive or like fast redeployability.
Well, ding, ding, ding on the ladder. This is a fast redeploy character.
Like that. Yeah, the cloak. The cloak screams like I should have some cool animation where I like disappear into my cloak or do something cool
Like
with my
drops from
cloak.
the air, like Neo from the Matrix.
Mhm. We got some cloaks at the HEMA Club that I was messing around with briefly at the end of the last class I was at, and like it's a heavyweight cloak and surprisingly effective as a tool in a fight.
You can like block stuff with it, right, and like wrap people up.
Yeah, and like even just like having a heavy cloak thrown over your arm and your weapon, even if you don't get like a full wrap and grab, is like plenty of distraction if they're close enough and fast enough for them to get their blade in.
That makes me think of like the matadors who, have the cape.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know how much it would protect you against a bull with
Oh, I
all this
wouldn't.
full weight behind it, but just another human, just trying to like disentangle yourself is a chore.
Toro, toro, ale!
And being
Right,
able to
that kind
use
of
it to
thing.
conceal your blade's location is also really cool.
I do get some Ezio Auditore vibes, like not in color scheme, but just in shape.
Mm.
He's got like the Assassin's Creed hood. He's got the stabby bits.
I love the
Like that.
caves on the hood.
That cannot have not been an influence, and maybe indirectly, but I feel like that was just so popular in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
I don't know, like the hood predates Assassin's Creed though, but
I think that's the most popular like pop culture
hood.
depiction of that kind of hood,
Mm.
where it's the really big one. It's not like a small one, but it like goes down to his shoulders. So that's just a guess. Of course, it fits perfect Arknights design, massive jacket.
Imagine doing laundry with that monster of a cloak. That's probably why it's all torn up. This is where it
It's
got
all dry
snagged in the
cleaned.
dryer, and where it got snagged in the dryer again and again.
He just sends it to the dry cleaner. I mean, you gotta get all the blood off, right?
Hmm. Right, is it time for the E2 art?
Let's bring out the E2. Hello, Mosuma. Okay.
Hang on, I've seen this artist before. This artist also did stuff with Province, didn't he?
Not Province. Uh, Executor.
Hmm.
So Province is drawn by an artist called Neon, who I don't think has done any other characters. This artist is Skade, who has many, many, many characters.
I really like his mask there with like the little tree branches growing out of one side.
I do like it when artists do the E2 art and it's like just totally different.
Hmm.
Like different pose, different clothes, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, now he's got
Big
a sweet
shapes.
double-breasted jacket here. Got a cool winged hat. He's got his cloak's doing this big like spawn wavy thing. There's still little kitty cats down there. And then this the giant like church organs.
So I'll tell you this: there's a very obvious in retrospect literary analogy going on here.
Let's see. You have the
I'll see if you can guess it.
frames, the organ, black cat,
Some of it becomes obvious if you once you know an
candles.
actual detail or two about the character. So I won't blame you for not guessing it outright.
Let's see.
But I might not tell you yet.
Hang on. All right, let's see. He's got a mask. He's got a twin-tailed cat. He's got candles and organs and these giant picture frame looking things. Big old black cat behind him. It's not like a Van Helsing reference, is it?
No.
Oh, is this a picture of Dorian Gray?
Oh, that's interesting. You know what? I don't think so, but that would fit.
I'm thinking because of the picture frame and then the thing on his belt saying the mirror.
That's actually a really, really good guess. Ooh, I like that, actually. That's not what it is, but I actually really like that one. That fits more than you'd think.
Hmm. Does it have something to do with like the big frames here and like the mirror thing on his belt?
A little bit. Perhaps not in the way you're thinking, but I know I hate being coy, but
does the cat have to do with it, or is it like
the cat does have something? The cat does have something to do with it.
Oh, is this an Edgar Allan Poe story that I'm just haven't read?
This character shares a birthday with Edgar Allan Poe. Oh man.
Okay, I'm on the right track. Clearly, I need to read more Poe. When you hear the cat's name, it will be very obvious. Wait, are you allowed to say the cat's name on stream? Will we get banned if we say the cat's name on stream?
It's not that cat. It's not that cat. Okay, no. The very different cat. But I will not tell you the cat's name because that will give it away.
Okay, so he shares a birthday with Edgar Allan Poe.
Some people know what we're talking about. If you know, you know, Chad. I won't tell you anymore.
All right, so he shares a birthday with Edgar Allan Poe. Picture of Dorian Gray was kind of close. What other cats names? Like there's the Cheshire Cat.
It's both about the cat and not about the cat.
Yeah, there's the Cheshire Cat, but I'm not seeing a lot of other like Alice in Wonderland looking clues.
So I hope, Chad, that you're thinking very hard about names here, because you could do a good one here.
Do I have to guess the cat's name too?
We'll also have you guess the cat's name. But
should I guess the cat's name before or after his name?
We'll do that afterwards. Well, okay. Once you know the actual name, I think the cat's name is going to be kind of obvious.
Okay.
It's both and both. There's a pair here.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let us move on to the name guessing then.
Well, did you really figure out where he was from, though? This is a bit of an interesting one, because I don't expect you to get this one.
Is he from New England?
No, he's not American.
Okay.
This requires maybe a little bit of in-game lore knowledge. But yes, I could just tell you. Because I don't think you're gonna guess it.
There's any clue?
I don't think you're gonna guess it.
Is he British, even if he's not working for the British?
He's actually not English.
Okay.
Which I know that might sound like, wait a second, I thought the English people were cats. Well, most of them.
Well, wait, is he like Pictish?
Worse. French. Oh, baguettes, oui, oui.
The mirror.
Yes.
I am.
No offense to real French people. I love your country, but I do like making fun of it.
Inside your mind.
He is not Quebecois. French, a fate worse than death. So, in the game's history, they had a Napoleonic War, as one does, and the French lost, unfortunately, or unfortunately, depending on your perspective. And they didn't like kind of do the thing like they did in real life, where they kind of cut the French down to size, and like say, okay, restore the pre-war borders, yada yada yada. They just outright partitioned them in this universe. So the Russians took some, the English took some, the Germans took some. I think that was just those three. It was the Battle of the Four Emperors, I think it was. Which, of course, as you all know, we had the Battle of Three Emperors in real life. Was that Austerlitz, or was that that has to have been Austerlitz, right?
Well, no, because Austerlitz was early on before.
Well, because Prince Alexander, or maybe it was Tsar Alexander was at Austerlitz, right? Or am I mixing up my battles? That might be.
I don't. Had the British arrived on the continent already? I thought Austerlitz was pretty early on.
The British were not involved. That was them clowning on the Austrians and the Russians. Because Napoleon basically baited them into making this massive attack on his right wing.
It was like,
so they pushed a bunch of dudes in, and they were hit in the mist in the morning. And so then Napoleon's like, Leroy, and they go up the hill onto the heights, and they just basically run over the weak center of the coalition army, and they split them in half. And this is kind of what the whole Napoleon thing goes, where you split the enemy army into two halves. Then they work over the northern half, which is more the Russians, and things go on from there. But I believe the Austrian emperor was there as well. I think it was maybe a Franz Joseph. I don't remember off the top of my head, chat. But yeah, so in this universe, they had a battle of the Four Emperors, but the French lost, so their country gets partitioned. So I don't think we talked about the Witch King. Germany has a Witch King. Had. Past tense. He was like basically Voldemort. Goat Voldemort. It's a long story.
See.
For another time. But long story short, yes, this guy's French. But yeah.
He's very cool looking though. Wait, okay, so French Edgar Allan Poe. The cat's name. Wait. No, I shouldn't make any guesses because this could.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you if your guess is correct or not.
All right. Let's
do the name time. Okay.
Guessing. Let us
move
rather to the fishing.
Yes. Fool the streamer. Let loose the floodgates. Oh boy. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot to guess from.
Oh boy. It used to just be 8 names, and then I kept losing, so you decided to increase the amount of names. Explain to me how that makes sense.
I want you to have a suitable challenge. You know how bird parents, when the baby bird is ready to fly, they push them out of the nest? That's what it's like for you, buddy.
All right. Well, let's see.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post them. Don't look for chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Lucky number, baby. All right. Game on.
Oh, okay, I see. Got some Phantom of the Opera stuff going on. Opera, Requiem, Leroux, Mask, Noir, Lucian, Playwright, Black Cat, Raoul, Resonance Overture, Phantom, and Eric. Let me guess, you guys put the cat's name in here as well.
I'm not going to tell you anything. You got to guess.
Ugh.
This might be the best one yet.
That's why the little like belts and stuff said like inside your mind.
He's learning, chat.
Phantom of the Opera is there. Okay.
So what are you thinking? What can you eliminate? Let's start with that.
All right. I mean, I could start eliminating all non-Phantom related names. Or is that just that's what he wants me to think?
Well, I'm waiting.
All right. I don't think it's Resonance. I don't think it's, or is it as simple as just Black Cat? Well, let's see. Playwright, Lucian, Noir, Mask, LaRue, Requiem. Opera, Requiem, Overture, Phantom, Eric, Raoul, Black Cat. Alright, if we just hone in on the Phantom names. Eric, Phantom, Overture, Lucian, Requiem. Alright. Let's see, the cat has two tails. What does it mean?
Dichotomy inherent within the meta narrative. I'll shut up.
Did I bring your thesis up?
Am I allowed to say the Samuel Jackson thing?
Why can't you just say, hi, Miliardo, how's it going?
But no.
Alright. I guess you guys
Chancellor
can't see me.
Palpatine's the Sith Lord.
You guys can't see me furiously, like, keying up and down this list of names.
If you press really, really hard, we can hear you.
I'm sure you guys hid the cat's name in here, too. Alright. I don't think it's Lucian, because I don't think there's a Phantom connection there. Opera, Requiem, Overture. Overture has the fun double meaning of being both, like, making, like, an offer to someone, but also the musical meaning. Requiem Masses are for the dead, which would be fitting. Opera, Phantom of the Opera. I feel like the cat's name is like either Raoul, Eric, or Phantom. And the human's name. Man, Eric fits real well. Like, he looks like an Eric. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to pick something. I'm gonna go with his name is Eric.
Are you gonna go Eric? Final answer.
All right. What do we got?
Is that your double final answer?
It is my final answer.
Well, oh! I score another point. So Eric is the name in the play of the Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
So, sorry. I almost feel like I should submit names. I'm cheating. Right? Thing from it, yeah, right. This is Phantom.
So then is the cat's name Raoul? Or is the cat's name Eric?
Think about it. Phantom of the Opera. Who's the other character that's important in that story? Other than Eric the Phantom.
Christine and Raoul.
Therefore,
Raoul, if it's a boy.
This is Miss Christine. So it's Girl Kitty. Miss Christine. Don't forget her title. Do not try to pet her. Or else. So, this is an odd duck of a character, and there's a lot going on. Well, I know I said that for Mostoma as well, but it's also true. This guy's had like an entire game mode around his schizo ramblings. So as you can probably guess, he worked in a theater troupe. So yeah, he's a theater kid.
I see.
Does a lot of singing and all that. But there's
hence the
something
pipe organs.
There's something dark lurking beneath the surface, as you might guess. Yes, dichotomy, meta narrative, ha 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 ha.
His face looks a lot nicer than the Phantom's face.
Yeah, he's not all scarred up, you know?
Oh, right. LaRue was the name of the guy that wrote the novel.
Yeah, LaRue's the author.
I was too illiterate to be fooled by that one.
There were a couple interesting ones there, too. It's like... And I can't remember, maybe chat can correct me on this one. I forget if his actual name is Lucian or not. It might be. I might be wrong, though.
No, I'm pretty sure Eric's his real name.
Well, no, like, I mean the character, not the guy for the plate.
Oh.
Is it actually... Okay, yeah, his name is actually Lucian. So they snuck that in there. He's very French. Oh, and this is a fun one. This is the first character that is a character, you know, you can recruit and use that ends up being an enemy later on. A little bit of an inversion of the W story.
Interesting.
So we have to go kick his ass because of reasons.
Oh, if you haven't seen
maybe he'll kick your ass.
The 2-part TV miniseries version of Phantom of the Opera is really good.
When did this come out?
1990, starring Charles Dance as the Phantom.
It's an old one.
Made by Saban Entertainment, of all places.
Wasn't really his choice. It's true, there's some... Okay, so there's like this evil devil theater troupe running around in the background of the story. And they're up to no good. They're like Team Rocket, except actually competent. And did you ever play Darkest Dungeon?
Yeah, I've played what I'm
guessing
Darkest
is
Dungeon,
about halfway. Kind of. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a Darkest Dungeon thing. That's just the closest thing I can think of. Their aims are nebulous. Their goals unknown, but they're up to no good, and they're gonna make you go insane and claw your eyeballs out with your own fingers. So, yes. Not a happy group. They could basically be a Dark Souls boss. Actually, didn't we have that? Anybody play Shadow of the Erdtree? Mizra, Lord of Frenzied Flame, more or less, right?
Falls off the wagon and starts singing musical numbers again. And we need to stop him before he assassinates the president.
It's funny because his singing actually drives people insane. That's his superpower.
Is it that good or that bad?
Both. It's just straight up super singing. There's another character this other chick. We might look at her, we might not. We'll see in this series. But she sings. That's her. She casts her magic by singing. This guy does it, but he's way stronger. Like you'll just die if you hear it. He's like a banshee.
So like if him and Virtuosa fought,
I actually put my money on this guy because, well, you'd have to know some more about the lore. I put my money on this dude, like all of it. If it was a normal person who wasn't a complete schizo, I'd put my money on Arturia. But yeah, this guy's not normal. I actually seriously don't think her music could work on him. It's one of those things where it's like I don't think we'll find out.
So the swords are just secondary then?
Oh, that's the primary. He just stabs you. He's a very nice guy. He's very personal that way.
Virtuosa wins and then loses because... Oh, that's right, because Virtuosa has, like, super duper empathy.
She kind of, like... Yeah, she does this thing with other people's emotions. And I just don't think it would
then
work
loses
against this
because
guy.
She unlocks Phantom's alter ego.
So when I said Cat John Wick, I wasn't kidding.
I mean, I'd watch that series,
I would watch that,
especially if it was a musical.
So if you're listening, Hypergriff, I know you're doing the anime. They're doing season 3 right now. We've got to get some side stories animated, or just make new ones. There's so much they could do with this whole world.
I will watch
that would just be super sick.
Your gritty action movie version of Phantom of the Opera, as long as you keep the singing in there with all of the swordplay.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? So I saw a live action Phantom of the Opera once.
Ooh.
This was years ago, and it was real fire, real zip lines, real singing.
Nice.
It was pretty awesome. So
how did they do the chandelier drop?
They dropped a chandelier, and it exploded everywhere.
Where were the zip lines from?
People were flying on a stage in certain parts. It's been 10 years, so I don't remember all of it. But yeah, very practical effects, which I thought was super cool. You don't see that a lot in stage plays. But real orchestra, real organ, very loud. I very much recommend it. So if you guys never seen Phantom of the Opera performed in real life, you definitely should. It beats the hell out of the movies.
Yeah, the miniseries one is not an adaptation of the musical. It's an adaptation of the book. So there's no singing apart from the diegetic singing in the opera house.
Yeah, I didn't put it. This guy's got 2 skins. They're both just varying stages of theater dress. So I decided not to include them. I don't know if we're missing something. Let us know, chat. We have chibis, of course. So we don't want to forget those. It's a weird situation too. This guy has to exist in the same world that Super Texas does, and it's hard living in the same world where Super Texas lives, isn't it? So a lot of people go around and they say this guy's no good because Texas exists. I disagree. I think that a lot of it has to do with your creativity, and you gotta sometimes look at certain things okay, there are exceptions. Some characters really are just in a league of their own.
I love how Miss Christine is included in all of the chibis.
She's there, yeah. This dude does this thing where he can summon a clone of himself, not unlike Kazumaru, but a little bit more real, shall we say. You can just deploy him twice. So I'm waiting to see.
He has fast. Go ahead. He has fast redeploy, and every time you do it, you get to put 2 of them on the field.
Yes, more or less. So that's what the mirror is, and the Schizo version of himself is wearing the mask. Although I don't think I put any of the chibis on there. Oops, my bad.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, again, still, you can't have there is no bad fast redeploy unit in this game.
Because of such even ability.
It's the best archetype, basically. It's the duct tape that holds your strategies together. Even the 4-star is one of the more overall useful units in the game because you can just throw her at stuff and solve problems. I think people for a long time we were like, oh my god, what is a 6-star going to look like in this class? And then we got this guy, and it's like, oh wow. And then we got Texas, and we're like, oh no.
It's a fast redeploy that redeploys twice. It's the only way we could make it faster.
Yeah, the thing that makes Texas stand out is her just insane AoE stun nonsense. I think they just didn't want to run the risk of having such a popular character be not really good. So I think they erred on the side of making her too strong. They probably had this discussion where it's we'd rather make her too strong than too weak.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the situation we saw. So yeah. The Monster Hunter one is a little different. I think that they do different stuff. That's all I'll say on that for now. Otherwise, we'll get derailed into like endless gameplay side tangent discussions, which is not exactly the point of this stream.
All right. Well, and while I was gonna say I don't have time for any more. Looking ahead at the chibis, I see it's the Moose Girl, so I do have time for one more.
You peaked. You peaked. Okay. All right. Let's do one more chat. I was actually about to ask if you wanted to just do the last one in the pack.
Yeah. Let's see the moose.
All right, chat. It's time for the moose. Let's just see the one art. Don't bring up the second one yet.
Make all boy moose go blah.
So I stuck her in here on popular demand. So this lady here is I will tell you, chat, I am biased. I like her, so maybe that's part of it.
I mean, all right, first of all, this is a great design because you have red, white, and black, which always look great together. And you've got all of this cool, like, flowing, tattered robes into hair, into, like, this just looks really cool. And I can't tell like where one cloak be. Okay, so it's like she's got a black skirt that's red on the inside, and then a white cloak with the trim.
That you do a lot of work with 3 colors.
Yeah. See, any country that has a tricolor flag should just replace their flag with a tricolor anime girl.
I agree.
That on the flag.
If you guys didn't hear our rant about tricolors, check out the Dickenbrecker episode.
I think we managed to offend like everyone in chat from a tricolor or bicolor.
You know, I thought most of them agreed with us. Actually, maybe we just had different recollections.
Well, it was after we ranted about bicolor specifically that we realized that all of the bicolor countries were represented in chat or on the panel.
True.
We weren't wrong though.
We weren't wrong. So I think you figured out this is a moose.
Yes.
Did you know the plural of moose is meese?
Mm-hmm.
I lied. It's not true. Where do you think she's from?
Canada?
No, Canada doesn't. This is a good universe. Canada doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Northern North America.
Hey, shots fired. That's right. Canadians in the chat, get out. I'm kidding. I just like to throw shade.
Your flag's okay.
It's better than most of Europe's.
Look at that.
Sorry, you shut your mouth. Stop apologizing. Stand up for yourself. Tell me I suck. Tell me I'm an arrogant American, okay? Just do it. I dare you.
There's
But
something
no, she's
written
not
on her
Canadian.
sword that says Candle Night, I think. That's really hard to read.
I can't read that.
I think it says Candle Night because she's a moose, so it can't say Camel Night. I think it says Candle Night, and she does have a candle. Actually, yeah, her sword guard is candles.
So you're guessing there's a candle theme going on here.
There might be. There's some bells here, some candles.
So this is a pretty ornate getup, ain't it?
It is, and you got some suggestion of like sort of like a nun's habit as well. So I'm getting some religious vibes from this design. She is not just a sword lady. She is probably some kind of paladin or sister of battle or some kind of some form of holy warrior.
I mean, she's holding a candle, so
Her sword has candles on it.
it's also got like moose antlers.
Mm. You could fit
maybe not the most.
You could
practical.
fit so many candles on those things. It's like, hang on, let me get ready for battle. Like, seriously, I just start sticking candles all over her antlers, just walks out like with a giant flaming rack of antlers.
Behold, light blinds the enemy. Yeah, this one's going to be maybe a little bit tough to guess without knowing some lore. This is a character that we saw a lot of for a very long time before we ended up
like the eyes.
recruiting her onto our silly boat.
She looks not like cheerful, but she has a very sort of serene, kindly look.
That's definitely in the right ballpark.
Aw.
Yeah, we first saw her as a boss, actually.
Yeah, I can see that.
Another one of those characters where it's like, oh no, we have to fight her.
And then you get to recruit her later on.
Much, much later on.
So
it was a long running question. It's like, when are we gonna see it? When are we actually gonna get our hands on her, right? So to speak.
As a boss, does she have a bunch of like candle ads that she summons that you have to deal with, or bad things start happening to you?
Yes, she literally has candle minions. Except they're just LARPing as her. They're walking around with candles, but their candles are not as small, and their moose horns are not as big. So they're not as cool. But she does have groupies, yeah.
And then once you recruit her, I'm thinking massive damage from the sword and probably some buffs to friendly side.
The sword has something to do with it. There's definitely some stabbing happening.
Is the buff proportionate to the damage she's dealing?
No, it's just for her. She's got a very weird kit. I don't know how to describe it without describing it exactly, so I'll just leave it at that.
Does she have like a candle meter or something that burns
sort
down?
Of.
So like she starts out with massive damage and then it gets, or vice versa. Like as the candle burns down, her damage output changes until a new candle is lit.
How can I put this? I don't think it's the candles like themselves. It's no, it's hard to describe. Sorry, but she buffs herself and she gets stronger the more she uses her skills. I'll put it that way.
Okay, so she like just RuneScape maxes while she's fighting.
You can think of that like that. It's one of those things where I think sometimes certain parts of the game suffer because they're in visual novel presentation. So they kind of describe it in a certain way, and it maybe looks a slightly different way in actual game. Hard to say. Like I said, I think if they're gonna, as they do these anime seasons, I think they should go and look at some of the side stories and try and give those like a, you could do like a 2 or 3 episode thing and cover an entire event. But I suppose that's a discussion for another time.
I like how they still managed to incorporate a bunch of like streetwear strappiness into the largely like fantasy outfit.
It's like semi night sports. I mean, she's got like the gauntlets and stuff, right?
Yeah. Man, her arm is skinny.
That looks a little tiny to me, but maybe that's perspective.
I don't know. That's, or maybe it's the hair covering the armor there makes it look skinnier.
So she's actually taller than most of them by 1 centimeter.
Is that with or without the antlers?
That's not counting the antlers. So she's 5'7" and like a third.
Love the little candles on the sword. A nice looking sword.
Very stabby.
Just a nice long sword.
And we've got, of course, the obligatory combat high heels.
Of course.
See, you can have one silly, impractical detail. And that's kind of how I look at it. I'm like, I will forgive the combat high heels.
They do look cool. Like it gives the
They just look nice.
It gives the whole armor and leg like a really nice line.
There's an elegance implied by it, perhaps. Like how Margaret had combat high heels. Zomph hates the high heels. I know.
Hate high heels on fighters.
Like I will forgive if that's the only thing, I'll forgive it.
I will
Like,
allow
you
it
look at
as an aesthetic choice.
you look at Margaret's get up from a practical perspective. That's like the only thing that's really stupid is the high heels. Everything else is within the boundaries of or reality, if you want to call it that. Obviously, this is like some kind of sci-fi fantasy anime thing. So we're not exactly holding it to super hyper real world standards. That being said, this on the sliding scale of how realistic something is, this is probably slightly on the more realistic side, but not too much. Just a little bit, like just a hair above average.
I like the little.
If you want to think of it that way,
I like the little knight helmet element here.
It's almost like a tiara.
Their hood, yeah. It's a nice little touch.
I like how the hood has like antler horns. It looks like it unzips, like the buckles come apart, and she can like put the antlers through it and then like reattach it.
Oh yeah, there's
like
not
a line
really any
there.
other way you're getting it over the antlers.
I think that's how that works. It's kind of small and hard to see, but I think that the hood comes apart in the middle, and she can like put it over.
Yeah, that would explain like you got the strap running down there, and you've got this whole line here. So yeah, it would have to detach at some point and then go around.
She's got ears sticking out of there too, you know.
Yeah. And the way they're like carefully balancing all of the colors is really good too. Like here you got the white, but you got a little bit of black. Then they have red on the inside of the hood to really make it pop against her blonde hair and pale skin. Then moving down, you have white, black, flesh, blonde, and just a little bit of red trim there. And then as you move down, you get like more black and red on the inside and like white and black on the outside, but then it reverses down here where now you've got black over white. But because you have the white cloak on the outside, then like even though this black's on the outside here, when you come over here where the cloak is over the dress, then it's white over black again.
What you're saying is there's a dichotomy inherent within the sub color. I'm sorry, but yes, juxtaposition is the word I will use.
No dichotomy here, just really good color composition.
The layering is neat too because it's like the outer layer is white, then the inner layer is black, and the underneath is the red part.
Yeah, white.
Maybe you just said that in a different way, but
yeah, you go white.
You can kind of see how these clothes
white,
work.
Red. And then just the way he draws it like tattered and stuff and like moves the volume around to get the shape he wants. It's like a very like it's nice because like so with the way he draws her legs, basically one behind the other, so you're getting like this very like tall, straight and narrow effect in the composition here. And then he's using the hair and the cloak to create a much more stable pyramid shape than say most of them had, where hers was more like the skinny isosceles. Here you still get that like straight ramrod, straight and narrow composition here, and then you get this volume that creates a very stable, wide-based pyramid as well. And then just to counteract like all of that, you then get the cool like moose horns up here that are like a small mini triangle inverted on top of the triangle that is her head and the triangle that is her body.
Lots of triangles, in other words.
When in doubt, just throw a bunch of triangles down and fill them in, and it'll look pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, shall we see the E2?
Let's bring out the E2. Let's Moose 2.
Ooh. All the candles.
All of the colors. All of the moose.
Oh, the staff even has like little moose horns.
There's like this constellation thing going on in the background.
Yeah. And it's like she's not in a snow globe, but like got the candelabra coming up all around her, surrounded by candles. The moose antlers are flared out like wings. And it's like this is even more of like a mess of colors, but like he's still following his rules for the outfit. And like the whole thing. Oh man, that's just very
It
visually
kind of like
cool.
flows downwards with the white, the red, and of course her hair, which is blonde.
That's cool. That's really cool. And then he's just got the big red ribbon floating around the entire piece.
I think my favorite detail about this character in both of them is just the way her eyes are drawn.
Yeah, they're like very. It's like expressive, but like not like big emotion expressive, but like he's doing a good job of capturing like her level of serenity with the eyes.
I always get this vibe that she just looks kind of sad.
I'm definitely getting that from the chibi here. Oh,
Just like waves. That was great. The sleeping one. Those freaking like nightcaps and her antlers. That's gotta be one of my favorite ones in the game. Just that's so goofy.
like I don't want to take my hood off, and I can't fit a nightcap over my hood, so here you go. Which I I want to say that would still be practical because of the blood flow through the antlers. You'll
It
still
might
it'll
actually serve a
still
purpose.
still benefit from having warm antlers.
Do you have warm antlers today, Chad?
May I introduce you to today's sponsor, Santa Hats for Antlers.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Keep your antlers warm and avoid brain freeze while you sleep from cold
I mean,
antlers.
antlers are horn, right? They're kind of like bone. So if you think about it, is your head not just one antler?
Hmm.
Maybe I'm thinking too much.
What stuff? Where do you make? Well, no, because antlers can break off.
Oh, your head can't break off. Darn it.
Yeah, like if you
And
had a
here
part of your
I thought I was
skull.
clever.
Here we go. Antler biology. Yeah. Well, deer antlers, I'm assuming this is true of moose as well, have a thick layer of blood-rich skin outside and blood-filled marrow inside, while they grow from spring to early autumn. So, yeah,
The nails and hairs. Okay.
if she's not trying to use her antlers as a cooling method during the summer, then she could warm them up during the winter.
Oh yeah, it's decapitation if your head breaks off. That would be less than ideal.
Yeah, well, and our heads don't fall off later on
Seasonally,
when they
at least
grow.
mine hasn't. Has your guys's? I don't know.
No. We also don't typically resolve uh, mating conflicts by headbutting each other, but it is an option.
That is an option. I don't think I want to get in a headbutting competition with this lady.
Hmm.
That seems like a bad time.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. Hey. So I think I know that this is the opening question, and this is one. It's a bit unfair. I don't expect you to get it. Is guessing where she's from because the answer is it's complicated.
Hmm. Let's see. So Canada does not exist.
If you heard her talk, you would immediately know. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Distinct act. But you said that French Canadians don't exist either.
No.
Martel is asking where are knights from? Knights are from Europe. But knowing that she has an accent, imply Europe. Is
Well,
she
we looked at we talked
from?
about Margaret and Flametail before, didn't we?
Yeah. Is she from some place that used to be French?
Actually,
France.
no.
Let's
She has
see.
nothing to do with the French.
What cyberpunk dystopia in game has knights?
We're just grilling you now.
Oh,
We've briefly covered this.
Flametail and Neural, who are from, was it like not Tibet?
No. Poland.
Poland. Oh, right, Granny.
So Poland does the night sports.
Okay. So she's a
And
Polish
it's
moose, or
basically
she
cyberpunk.
competed in night sports.
She competed in night sports. This is obviously a bit of a trick question. She's not from Poland,
Okay.
even though she did a
Let's
lot of
see.
stuff there.
Well, Germany has goat people, so does Germany also have moose people?
Yes.
This character's even better now.
But yeah, she's German.
All right, put her in the top 5. Put her up there with Dagenbrecker and Rita.
They did what they did with this character was the same lady does the voiceover for both the English and German.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's one of those situations. There's not a whole lot of those, but there's a couple. She's one of them. But yes, very German. Moved to Poland when she was young and ended up doing night sports.
That's why she's got the big moose emblem on her jacket here.
Yeah, remember they have this kind of thing where you're like a sort of pro athlete, and there's a lot of media stuff going on. You know, you've got to have like an image. You've got to. It's like managed.
That's why her sword says Candle Knight.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on in night sports. It's an interesting story. Again, would very much benefit from an anime adaptation because there's so much happening. But then it's not just like the political intrigue. That's the part that's I think works really well. They try to do a lot of action scenes, and you just have to imagine it. Now, for people who have read a lot, I don't find it too much of a problem, but I can see why people would be like, "Okay, let's get to the point here," because they're like, "Oh, and then they swung their sword, and this happened." It's like, yeah.
Writing a good fight scene is very difficult because if
It
you
is.
fall into the trap of describing every blow, it gets super boring super quick.
So I think all the stuff in Kashmir could definitely benefit from being animated because I think it would show the strengths of what the story they're trying to tell a lot better. Some stories is different. Some of them are a little bit more. They're less about the action and more about the what's actually going on. But the stuff going on with Laterano and like Fiametta and Mostama and such, I think is perfectly suitable to visual novel because it's less about. It's not like, and then they drew their gun and shot super cool. You know, that's not really the point of it. The point is, it's a little bit more slower paced. So I think it works just fine in visual novel format. So that's a tangent. That's a whole tangent. I suppose we could talk for hours about that alone, perhaps. Like what's better animated versus what's better written. You know.
Or writing analysis. Writing analysis. Stream. Perhaps.
We'll get there eventually. Maybe in a few months, Chet.
I might do that live while I'm playing through.
We'll figure it out. But that could be a good one.
Oh, Ufotable doing near light? That would be sweet.
Yeah, don't worry, like it's supposed to be stage reactions. They occasionally fall in the trap. Occasionally.
Or embrace that, like Spots the Space Marine, I believe, is literally written as if it were a film script. and formatted
There's been
that
a
way.
cool couple ones where they've like played with perspective and like you don't actually know which character you're seeing the events from. And what I'm not. I'll just let you get to it first, then we can discuss it later, maybe some future stream. But I'll say this: I think the writers have gotten better since the game launched. Not worse. I think they've gotten better. So you know. But anyways, back to Moose Girl. We saw the E2 art. We saw her chibis.
Let's go with the name guess.
Let's go with the name guess.
Try and wrap things up shortly so I can hit the road before noon.
I have literally no guesses myself. Actually, I have one. I lied. I have one. But this is going to be up to you, chat.
Make sure
you got to carry this.
Covered up. All right.
For those of you posting. Yes, okay. Nice.
It's a good thing there's no trading card game for Arknights.
I think they've thought about it. I don't know if that's actually happened, though.
And that it's the logical extension of gacha into the physical world.
It is, isn't it? Or if you think of it this way, if you think of it this way, are not gachas just the electronic equivalent of a trading card game?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, you pull the pack, you do your gacha rolls, whatever, and you may or may not get something good. Although you cannot trade them to other players. That's something you can't do.
Yeah. That would be... I wonder what that market would look like. Because can you get duplicate pulls in Arknights, or like once you pulled a character, you don't have to worry about rolling the same character again?
You can get duplicate pulls, and it gives some very small bonuses to their stats, but like not anything massive. This is kind of the thing. It's like you don't have to pull dupes to have the character be good. It's usually something very simple, like -1 DP cost. Or sometimes it's like, oh, let's add a few percent to the character's trait, for instance. It's nothing huge. It's like you don't feel robbed for getting a dupe, but it's not like getting dupes makes the character actually work. They're good with just the first.
Right.
So
you're not just sitting there hoping you pull them again so that they become useful.
Yeah. You don't have to do that with really much anybody. And once you yeah. Okay, I think we've got a couple names here. We've got, I think, 9.
All right.
I think I see all of the ones in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and post these.
9 is a good number for a German character.
Okay. And here, I think I spelled everything correctly. Let's see. Let me check. I did not mean to click the exit Discord call button. Don't worry. I'm back.
All right. All right. I'm glad no one put Giovanna.
I almost did. But then we told you she's not Italian, so
All right. We have Vicker, Glint, Dama, Schatten, Herzenritter, Weiss.
I hope you know you're German.
Handle, Shining, Viviana, Licht. Licht means light. So I don't think it's Viviana then, because that's not a German sounding name. And this would be like her night sports name then, right?
It could be, but it also could not be.
Yeah. Flicker. I think that's also German for something. Or is that supposed to be Flicker?
That's Flicker.
Yeah. There we go. Flicker, glint, Dama, Kurtzen, Ritter. Ritter means knight. Kurtzen.
Ritter means rider.
I think it's the word they use for knight, isn't it?
It is. It is. Yeah.
What is Kurtzen?
Handle.
All right. Candle Rider. Said literally Candle Knight. Vice Vine. Candle Shining Viviana Licht. Alright, I think it's probably going to be a German name. I won't rule out Flicker. My German escapes me there. Schatten. Vice Vine.
But Schatten is shadow.
Yeah. Ooh, that's another good one. Vice Vine. I don't think that means white wine.
That does mean white wine.
It does mean white wine?
Yes.
Alright, white wine, Candle Knight, or Candle Rider, Shadow, Liquor, or Dama?
Dama is lady.
Oh man, these are all good. The fact that somebody typed Vice Vine makes me think they either planned this or they copy pasted it from the wiki and it's her name.
Well, I'm going to leave it to you to guess.
White wine, Shadow. I don't think it's Dama means lady. Liquor, Schatten, Kerzen, Return. All right, you know what? Let's not have a repeat of Blue Poison. I know it's not always the case, but let's go with Kerzenritter.
Kerzenritter. Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, chat. Final answer. He thinks it's Candle Knight. Well, nice try, buddy. But you just got zomphed. It is, in fact,
Zomph.
Viviana.
A non-German name.
It's Viviana, let's see. Viviana Drost von Hochberg. If I didn't mangle that pronunciation.
This was Zompho Raffle.
Leet.
All right, well played.
So, yeah, Viviana here moved to Poland at a young age because of political reasons. She may or may not be the heir to a certain influential elector count to the HRE. So, I won't say any more about that. But she got into night sports and was really good at it. And was very popular. Enough that the paparazzi was actually after her for stuff. Poland's a funny place. But, yeah. We first see her as a boss. And then some other things, and later on. But her whole gimmick is she casts spells. Oh, go ahead.
Is her stage name then just Viviana?
It's Candlelight.
Okay. But that's not actually her operator name?
Her operator name is Viviana. She just uses her given name.
Okay, so Kerzenritter, well, not just Candle Knight is her night sports name.
Correct.
But so close.
Yeah, she's an odd unit gameplay wise.
Ooh, she presents her
It
magic
fits
as
in.
light magic, but it's really more shadow manipulation.
She can like make people not see stuff. It's hard to explain without explaining everything. So I think a highly underrated unit, personally speaking, I think it's because people compare her to the other 6-star Arts Guard, which is a rather game-defining, basically Texas level of busted character we haven't seen. So everyone was like, "Oh, we're expecting her to be like this," and she does just a totally different gameplay niche, and then people just bitch about it because she doesn't kill everything on the screen by pressing one button like some other characters do. But yeah, she has her niche, and she's very good at it. So I'll just say that. I think she's a lot of fun to use, but I always go out of my way to use characters that I think are just less popular. That's just me. The only thing people love more than playing games is complaining about them. Yes. People have this thing where it's like it's this dichotomy where there's that word again. They either are like, wow, this character is busted and they're a must pull read, or they're like, oh, they're useless, and it's like, come on, guys. We're not adults. There's this whole thing with Dagenbrecker and Irene are in the same like archetype. And Irene is very, very good. And then Dagenbrecker does some other stuff, and there's something she's better at, and as a brute force operator, she might be a little bit overall stronger, but then you have people running around saying that Irene is useless, which I think is like stupid. It's like, do you guys play the game? Are we playing the same game here? Well, functionally, what it is there's an entire genre of YouTube content where it's like, oh, we can heck and pull this operator, you know? It's like, and it's just endless treadmill of that kind of stuff where it's like they're trying to like, it's all just like this attempt to have hype about everything. About I don't know. I find that to be very annoying. This is why I think a lot of the Arknights YouTube content is pretty freaking useless because it's just that stuff.
What you're saying is,
it's
if I provide useful commentary and use interesting operators when I stream, I will stand out.
More or less, because it's more just I don't know. This is an insult, but like just the low level of effort put into so much of the English sphere of like Arknight stuff on YouTube it's really disappointing. I'll put it that way. You've got people doing like clears of stages with just the 3-star units. I'm like, that's really good. They don't get any views. It's just like people like, duh, meta, duh. You know, you just get a lot of that. It's like, play what's fun. This is why I run around with like 4 and 5 stars a lot on stage, because it's just more fun to do it that way. Remember, why do we play games? It's to have fun. And obviously look at the pretty anime people. So that's my TED Talk, is why I use Viviana a lot. I think she's very good. I almost feel like I was like Monkey's Paw, right? I liked Texas before she got a busted alt. So yeah.
Well, I look forward to trying out all of these guys in game, assuming that I pull them after I start playing.
It's going to be an interesting one. You'll get a weird, random assortment of characters. Everybody's got a different set, right? So your first couple pulls are really going to make a big difference in like who you've got, because you'll have a lot of gameplay resources early on. It's not until later that you start accumulating a lot of free rolls. And if you're patient, you can build up a big enough bank that you could pretty much guarantee a pull of any character if you're on the right banner. But this is the thing about gotchas in general, I guess, is that obviously the business model is very predatory. We all know this, right? But for people who have patience and they're able to defer gratification and be like, I'm just going to wait until a better opportunity or later on, it's like, you're going to be fine. I personally didn't roll on the rice farming banner, if you know what I'm talking about. I also did not actually throw any rolls at Dagenbrecker. I know. Kill me, right? But I will get her eventually. It's a matter of budgeting your rolls out. I'm saving them for some later on ones, right? So, there you go. Just be patient, save your stuff, use them when you want, and that's good. You're gonna have more success that way. So I've got like 400 rolls banked. So I'm waiting. I'm ready. I'm waiting for chapter 14. So we actually have a big advantage not being on the Chinese server because we know the character's coming 6 months out. Which means
for them,
you can,
it's like they don't know what they're saving their rolls for.
This is actually one of those funny situations where we get to benefit from the suffering of the Chinese player base. They don't know who's coming out in 2 weeks. We know who's coming out 6 months from now. So if you find a character you really like, you can save for them. And that's what you do. Just have some patience. Have some, some patience, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, well, you can absolutely play welfare free to play only, and you will have a ton of success. The game gives you enough rolls. It punishes people who are, I have to collect every single character. That's who it punishes. Which those people are the whales, the people with no impulse control, and they have to have everyone max pot, right? So,
okay,
so that's that.
You just play it like a normal human being and
play it like a normal human being.
Good time.
Some of the welfares are ones, they're like high rarity characters you can just get for completing an event. Some of them are very, very, very good. So the game is generous enough. You should be able to clear anything in the game with just free to play. But yeah, so I guess wrapping this whole thing up, the blind reaction series has been a blast, hasn't it?
I've really enjoyed this.
Like I said, I've been looking forward to it every week or two that we've done this. I'm like, man, I'm cooking up the list of characters. We're going over stuff. So I guess going forward from here, what should we have the viewing audience expect? Obviously, it's not going to be totally blind. If you start playing the game, you're going to start knowing some plot details that I have been hiding from you intentionally. There's some significant ones that I've been hiding from you.
Well, let's see. Going forward, then, I think I'm unlikely to stream too much more before my school hiatus. I might have room to fit in one more that would just be for the.
We wanted to do the mech talk, didn't we? One of these days.
Well, yeah, the mech talk because it ties into the card game that I'll be launching sometime within this month.
We got some Kickstarter action coming up, Chad. So.
And it's a mech themed card game, so doing a mech analysis stream ties directly into that, and it's
so perhaps we should expect that to happen sometime in the next week or two, and that may be the last stream for a little while.
Yeah, I think that will probably happen towards the end of this month, and then I'll probably be on a for real break.
He's got school. He's actually doing important stuff. He's learning, bettering himself.
We'll come back and I mean, if I'm not because I'm still gonna be pretty busy after school, so we'll see. If I'm not desperate to start the game, we might be able to squeeze one more blind react in there before I actually fire the game up, or we might just hit a point where it's like, hey, I'm gonna be playing, but I can still blind react to any characters I haven't encountered yet. So
there's enough characters that you're unlikely to see for a long time. You're not going to see all of them. So we'll have to just play it by ear, I guess. There's that's just the recruitable units. That's not counting NPCs and potential future characters. Yeah. So we've only looked at about 40
in as many hours.
Yeah. So that maybe is the future. Obviously, tier lists. We've got to do one.
Or I'll just derail every gameplay stream by analyzing every new character as they appear.
Oh yeah. We'll figure out the details, I guess, on that.
To talk about during gameplay. It'll just be a running commentary instead of an in-depth one where I can enhance everything.
Yeah. Well, we'll discuss this perhaps maybe a little bit offline. We can figure out what might be most entertaining for the viewing audience. And then, of course, I think at some point later on, we can maybe talk a little bit more about the writing aspect of it as well. Once you've gotten your feet sort of into the pool. I've tried to been deliberately avoiding that side of things as much and just focusing more on the visuals. But that's this whole own sphere, and like how well what kind of story they're trying to tell, how well do they tell it, and so on. I think there's a lot going. I don't know. I'll say this, chat, and I think you guys are like, well, of course you say this because you're talking about the game and you're a nerd. I think it's better than it has any right to be, being a gacha game story, is the way I heard it once described by somebody I know. It has no right being as good as it is. It's definitely... It has its issues being overly wordy sometimes, but I think that they've really got something good cooking here, as the Zoomers say. And it's... When I started playing the game back in 2020, I was really only interested in the game portion because I was super bored because it was 2020, everything was shut down, right? And so I didn't really pay too much attention to the story early on, and then it was later on that actually I started to find it a little bit more engaging. I was like, nice. You know what? This actually isn't bad. This is actually better than I thought it was. And it's I oftentimes compare it to like contemporary Fire Emblem games, and I think they do a better job than Fire Emblem does. Which perhaps, again, we'll do that discussion later on.
Does it have some of that like long-running webcomics kind of energy?
It can, because stuff can tie into events that happen like 3 years later, like in real life. Like, oh, this character, like Fiametta, showed up like February 2020, and we didn't see her again for like 2.5 years. So, there's a little bit of that. My thesis for this whole thing, I think I've said this many times in previous episodes, is like they clearly planned out a lot of this stuff very early on. They're like, here's our major plot beats for our main story. Here's the ones for the side stories. And off they go, right? Which means there's a level of coherence that is very, unfortunately, rare in a lot of stuff in the anime world. You know how Square is infamous for just like making shit up?
I haven't actually played a ton of Final Fantasy.
If you've ever seen much of the Final Fantasy VII Extended Universe, then you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Where stuff just kind of gets pulled out of thin air all the time. I think that they mainly avoid this with the writing that Hypergriff does. Again, long story short, generally speaking, it's pretty interesting, and it's pretty well put together, and it's pretty coherent. I have my complaints, I don't. It's no Lord of the Rings, but maybe this is just a remark upon like how low our standards perhaps are these days with a lot of media. That hitting the bare minimum is like, wow, this is pretty good. I think they do more than the bare minimum in this game. I think that it's at me being a history nerd, they clearly took that as their inspiration, and there's a lot of like I said, ersatz, real world history going on. Like, oh, the fact they had a Napoleonic War, and there's the Irish time of troubles like literally happening. That's like a major plot point. And there might be a Russian Revolution coming up. The whole thing is like very clearly based on like real world history, and they threw their blend of anime in there. I think the devs were very heavily influenced by Metal Gear and some other stuff. I could just taste it. But that kind of makes it more fun. It's pretty good. So I think you're going to enjoy it, I guess is what I'll say. I don't know if you wanted like just pick it up at some point during your schooling stuff in the next month or two and just kind of get a little bit into it before you kind of hop back on and stream it. I don't know what you're thinking, but
I don't know. What would chat want to see? It's always fun to watch somebody.
People really like to see the very beginning because there's some weird stuff that happens. And like I said, they're trying to Kojima you at certain points in the early story where they like tell you something that's maybe not true.
Because I feel like with like newbie streams are it's either really entertaining to watch the new guy figure things out, or it's just super boring watching the new guy, and you're just like, no, you're like when you
the first like it actually starts with chapter 0. Thank you, game. It starts off pretty slow for like the first 2 to 3 hours of gameplay. I'll say that. That being said, that's not that much in the long scheme of things. But yeah, it starts in media res. It does do that.
Ooh.
So they pull that trick. I don't know. I think it could be entertaining. It's not terribly long. I'll say that. They do the tutorials last for like 2 chapters. They think that you're literally an idiot. Is basically the tutorial level. So it's not difficult at all. It's like place operator on table and then stage over. The thinking does not happen until a little bit later on.
Okay. Well, the last fantasy series I really enjoyed was Book of the New Sun, which is basically Gene Wolfe writing a story and then only giving you 60% of it. So I'm a fan of being dropped into the middle of things.
Yes, most people are idiots. I'll put it this way. Tower defense games have actually, believe it or not, always been niche. Puzzle games in particular. Tower defense is a subset of puzzle games, is my argument. And I think that a lot of people just want to be given the solution. Like, I'm talking about the normie. Right? So the normie comes, they let's say for some reason they happen to download something like Arknights and play it, and they're like, they get frustrated because it's too hard.
They want it to be more like an idle battler, like I put my guys down.
It's not. This game will kick your ass at certain points. Like, devs are not afraid of just sticking it to you. It's not like Dark Souls levels of unfair, but they will sometimes just like crunch you. So you have to sometimes just stop and think a little bit, and that and the fact that there's a lot of dialogue turns a lot of people off from the game because they just don't want to read. Most people just don't want to read in general these days. So I think that causes a natural filtering effect of the type of people who play this game. People who don't like to read will not like this game, and so then they just drop it. Simple as. So,
which it's funny that you have the gacha medium that's designed to like get as many people as possible to give you lots of money, and then you pair it up with this super robust filtering mechanism.
It is, and this is the reason this is not like the top 3 earning gachas in the world. It's like top 10, which still makes a ton of money. They make like, what is it, like average like $400 million a year? It's a lot of freaking money. But they it's not going to be. I don't mean to throw shade at anybody who plays other things, but it's not like the type of game like a Genshin Impact, which is a Breath of the Wild clone, which is very deliberately targeted at the widest possible audience. Right? They're like, we want. It's a business decision. I'm saying it actually makes a lot of sense, and I think they're on the right track in terms of their goal being making money. They're like, find popular thing, aim it at the biggest group of people possible, and you'll make more money. And they do. Whereas this Arknights is very much not being. They don't have the same idea. They're not trying to. Like, I don't know. They could make more money if they did things differently, but I think that they also are like, this is our baby, and so we want to like do it the way we want to do it, even though they could make money doing things differently. So that's kind of the vibe I get. A bit autist and capable of compromising. Perhaps. I do enjoy the fact that they just do whatever the hell they want. Yes, here's random alternate versions of this character that nobody was expecting. Let's just do a concert. Why not? Oh yeah, let's not sell our merch in North America. I would buy it, Hypergriff. Anyways, I have to go to obscure anime conventions to find like freaking Texas keychains. Do you understand the depths that I have to dive into, chat? But no, they don't sell anything here.
Do they sell the merch in Japan?
Sometimes. Only sometimes. They don't even do that. They're not very good about their merchandise. They could make a lot more money. They need to learn some lessons from the Pokemon Company. Yes, sell me the bean version of Lapland. Actually, I wouldn't buy that. I would buy the bean version of Texas. But you know what I mean. They could, yeah. as a business, they have some lessons to learn. The freaking art book has never been sold in English. There's 2 of them now, I think. It's got like those diagrams of like, oh yeah, the artists are like, here's my reference sheet for how I drew Texas, and here's how her bag looks, and stuff. And it's like, you know how those things work, right?
I'm still
lots
trying
of
to
details.
track down the Knights and the Nightmare art book in used bookstores over here.
Yeah, it's super hard to find. So unless you pay an ungodly amount of money to have something shipped to you personally using like a secondhand storefront thing, you ain't getting it if you're not in China. So that's my main complaint. Come on, Hypergraph, learn your lesson. Sell me something. I would buy it. That being said, they do. There's several, more than one at this point. It's just like lore dumps. It's like a YouTube video. It's narrated by Kelsey or Cal. It's just telling a story about stuff. They put a lot of effort into like the extra media thing, so that's something I would give them kudos for. I'll say this: be ready that you're not going to have any idea what's going on for a while because there's just so much going on.
Sounds fun.
So yeah. I can talk for hours about this. I won't. I'll stop. I'll let you go about your day, I guess.
Yeah, we're 7 minutes past. That's all right.
And we'll figure out what the rest of the schedule is, chat. So keep an eye on that. I don't know. Maybe you'll like put a post in your community tab or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
If
many.
we figure out any plans,
I don't think too many of my YouTube audience actually follows me on Twitter, so I tend to realize I have to make more announcements using the YouTube community.
I actually don't follow you on Twitter because I don't have a Twitter, but you know. But the YouTube one, I would recommend that so people can know what to expect. I think that, like you said, maybe we'll do one more ish, possibly before you do school stuff. So we just don't know yet. It's too early to tell. And then at some point we'll get you loose. We'll let you loose. You'll start learning about what all this nonsense is. Why are the anime people animals and stuff, and what's going on. We'll have that discussion offline, though. And I guess, yeah, like chat, if you have any ideas or suggestions, please post those comments on the video just to give us some feedback.
There's something nice about wrapping things up on episode 10.
It's a round number.
And I'm very grateful to chat and the audience that has shown up for all the Arknights stuff. So, hope you guys will come back this way after my hiatus is over, or check out some of the other videos the crew and I have done.
And don't forget to scroll down a little bit on that fun little description. I do have a Twitch channel if you hate yourself and you want to watch me babble about random stuff. Sometimes Arknights, sometimes Devil May Cry 5. Who knows? It could be anything. But yes, I'll show myself very briefly.
While you're down there, there's a little link that says Exceed Max. There's a little preview there of what the card game might be about.
But well, that's all I got for tonight. You got anything else to say?
No. Thanks to everybody that tuned in live, and thanks to anyone that's watching this thing later. Look forward to seeing you guys later this year. Take care.
Adieu.
Oh wait, I forgot. I should see if there's anyone to redirect into before everybody signs off. Let's see here. Keep forgetting I can do that now. Who is live? She's not live. 20 minutes live right now. Let's see here. Everybody has upcoming streams. Who's actually live right now, chat? Oh no, chat can still hear me. I don't think they can hear you. Let's see. Or the troll is live. It'd be funny to raid into. Moko is live. Yeah. Laura is live. Who's Laura? Zomph Lamau. Who's Clara? Is that another VTuber? What is their, what's their full name? Can't tell if it's a serious suggestion or not. Oh, Phase Connect, Clara. Oh, not serious. Oh, she's from the JP branch. Wait, is she live right now? I think she just ended stream. Streams 2 minutes ago. Oh, we'll go raid Sora the Troll. Oh, direct privileges needed. Alright. Well then, let's go with... Oh, this person speaks Japanese, so I don't actually know what they're doing in their stream, but... Hello, here we go. That's us. Go here. To the random raid. Alright, chat. We will go launch the raid.